Go ahead. Go ahead.
We have this debate all the time. Do as I say, not as I do, because these children have way more exposure to what I call cognitive structuring. They understand the fact that their thinking controls their behavior. They understand that. So when they see parents say, okay, don't lie, but then and they see the parent lie, these kids are intelligent enough to like call the parent out on that, because there's this big push for accountability and all these things. Back in the day, it was you just do it because I'm grown and you're a kid. And I think that does not teach kids how to think for themselves. That just literally shows them who's in charge. But you're not going to be in charge of them their entire life. So once they leave your house, they don't know how to think and make effective decisions. Like you just basically being told what you can and cannot do. And I remember being a kid asking, well, why I can't do that? And I was told, you're talking back. So it's failing us because we're raising a generation of children who they don't learn how to think for themselves. Because what happens when junior or baby girl go to college? Well, my mama didn't let me do that. And it's always going to be that friend that says, well, your mama ain't here. What is it going to be their response? How are they going to think for themselves? So it's just, I've been waiting to say that out loud, because he literally was taught this as a kid. Like, we have this debate all the time, do as I say, not as I do. But my perspective, especially when we're raising our own daughter, is it's okay for her to ask questions, because I want her to know how to think for herself. This does not promote thinking. This promotes you do what I tell you to do.
Right. Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think that, kids are developing, and if they're always saying one thing and you're telling them to do something else, you're not even teaching them how to do what you're telling them to do. You're literally teaching them the exact opposite. I think about this a lot, pertaining to how adults and children solve conflict. You have parents who will tell their kid, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. But how they solve conflict is jumping to conclusions, going from 0 to 100, cursing everybody out, not taking accountability. I see this all the time. And I'm like, well, no wonder their kids solve conflict the way they do. What you think, Cannon?
No, I totally agree. I say that all the time, that when parents say, do as I do and not as I say, they're not taking into account that children are going to emulate you, because that's all that you're giving them to do. Like, I remember I was friends with someone, and she used to curse at her child like it was no tomorrow, like just the way she used to talk to her. And then my son came in and like told on the child and was like, they were cursing at their toys and they said this. Like, he was like 3, and they was around the same age, maybe 3 or 4. And then so to chastise the child, it was crazy to me, because like, cause I didn't curse at my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother didn't curse at me. So like, I don't curse at them. You know what I mean? They may hear me curse. They ain't gonna say, but I don't curse at them. Right. So, so I'm like, he came and told, and she was like, what words did they say? Da, da, da. So then he repeated it, and she go in there and she's like, what I tell y'all? And just start cursing the baby out like the same way. And I'm like, well, they just playing what they do is the same way, doing what you doing right now, like copying you. And it was just crazy to me that it was like, she didn't even notice that even in that moment. Like, how do you not see, like, they literally doing what they see you do and what they heard you do, and they're acting it out? You know what I mean? So yeah, I think that doesn't work well in any regard, because again, kids are just they're gonna follow and do what they see happening. They're not just gonna listen to the words that you're telling them, and that's just what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So. One Facebook user says, I don't think it's a fail, it's up to the child. I wouldn't say that it's a fail for every single family. I think it's a fail when the kids see more dysfunction than they see, positivity.
Right.
Because no parent's perfect, right? So you have parents who, are fairly good parents, right? Like they are trying their best. For the most part, they're showing their kids the right way to do things, meaning the way that is most productive, the way that is most respectful to other people. Like for the most part, they're setting a good example. Like you guys set good examples for your kids, right? If you said that one time, a couple times, your kids wouldn't go to the wayside, right? Because you all have been instilling certain things in them. I think it's most hurtful when like the kids just aren't seeing enough positivity. They're not seeing enough, effective problem solving. They're not seeing enough accountability. They're not seeing enough respect. Like that's when it's becoming a problem, because you're saying, oh well, don't do this, but you're showing them the exact opposite constantly. And I love the way you talked about questioning, like, and how people how kids have to learn things, and one way they learn is by asking questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because what's the difference between when a parent tells a child, okay, you can't do this, and the child asks why? What's the difference between them asking that why versus when they ask the why in a classroom setting? Like, what's the difference? Especially if we're such a big advocate on saying and thinking that home is the first school. I say that all the time. The very first level of some type of education is supposed to come from home. And so when kids are asking questions, why do we as brown people in our culture, why do we assume they're being disrespectful? Or why do we assume that they're challenging authority? I literally used to ask why because I wanted to know why. Like, especially like when I used to get physically disciplined. Like, why does it take you to hit me to actually teach me something? When you could just tell me, okay, this is why you should not do this. Like, why does it have to be, everything got to be by trial and error, or you got to fuss at me to teach me how to do it, or you got to yell, why does it have to be that way? Like, and why can't parents just step up and say, we make mistakes too. We're not perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like, we make mistakes, that's just like the other night, we were having a conversation with our daughter, and we were explaining to her that sometimes parents, mom and dad, we have disagreements. And what she dictated back to us clearly showed me that she comprehends that people disagree. So I think sometimes we cut our kids at their knees. We don't give them the benefit of the doubt that they might actually be capable of holding a conversation. And it's not like you're being grown or you're being disrespectful. It's just that they're literally doing what you're teaching them how to do. You can't get mad if they see you like you can't get upset if you're in a home where you're raising sand with another adult, for example, and then they start to demonstrate that same behavior. You can't just get upset. Well, why are you doing that? You're showing them that that's what you do. You're showing them that. So it's like 80-20. It's like 80-20, literally.
All right. We got Triple OG. What do you think?
What's up, y'all?
Hey.
So I mean, it's I think the most effective way to be a leader is to lead by example. So I feel like if you tell your kids to do something, you should resemble the thing that you told them to do. Even if, and I know it's like, I'm grown now, I can do certain things that you can't do. So when you try to do these things that I do and I tell you don't do it, I feel like as a parent, you should explain to them, if they at age enough to comprehend what you're saying. I feel like you should explain to them like the reasons behind certain things, because kids just need to know certain things. They just can't be in the dark about things. And then like I believe Miss Jovo said, like once they go out on their own, they never had a reason or a understanding of why you're not supposed to do this. So curiosity is going to even be more raised, like because they want to know why he or she said don't do it now. If you would have told them then, or even like through life, you have different examples of certain stuff that you explain to them. So you can tell them like, no, don't do XYZ, and then give them examples of what happens when you do XYZ, or show them examples of when you do XYZ, even if it's not through your life, like TV programs they watch. When you hear about certain things, come sit down, explain to them like, yeah, Tommy down the street just did this and that. I'm pretty sure his parents told him the same thing I told you, and guess what happened to him? Just explain to him like treat people need to start treating kids like they're humans, like they have a brain, like they at some point they will be making decisions for themselves, instead of treating kids they like like they robots with commands to do this, do that, and then they just expect them to do it, because nobody does that, not even from birth. You can't even brainwash a kid to do exactly what you say, exactly how you say it. At some point they're going to do some different things, because their mind is just going to be, but so I think, just to lead by example, you have to, resemble that.
Okay. I agree with that. So one of our Facebook viewers said or asked, what's considered dysfunction? No one is perfect. I feel everyone has a dysfunction in their families. And I did make function I made mention of that. Like, nobody is perfect. No parenting is perfect. And I don't think there's necessarily one right way to parent either. But I think we could all agree that certain things are dysfunctional. Like if you're always yelling, if how you problem solve in your house is yelling, screaming, cursing, leaving, those things are dysfunctional. Why are they dysfunctional? Because they don't help the situation. They don't solve the problem. They actually make them worse. So if you're telling your kid, stop yelling at your brothers and your sisters, or go to school and listen to the teacher and don't talk back, and use your words to solve your problems and not fight all the time, you might as well not be talking, because they're really going to do what they see you do all the time. So yes, nobody is perfect. I'm not saying that there is a perfect way of parenting. I'm not saying that no family has dysfunction, but there are certain things that are just outright inarguably dysfunctional, right? And so for some people, like constantly hearing do as I say, not as I do, is failing them. It's not setting them up for success as an adult. So
I think most parents that do even use that, I know back in the day, that was like the thing to do, because they was just so, and I think it was because they was so they wasn't too far removed from civil rights and all that other stuff. So it was like you don't even have time to be questioning stuff. Like, we need to do this right now, because if not, this is life or death. Like, so don't do this, don't go there, don't say this to this person. And I think that mindset kind of like trickled over into like our grandparents and parents. But now we're at that point where, like, we don't have to be moving like that no more. Like, no, why you don't want me to go down there? Like, why can't I say this to this person? Why can't I go around in this area? And so I think that trickled over into that era where, don't say nothing. But the people that say that now, I think it's just the parents that say that now, I think it's just because of control. Like they just need to feel some type of control because of maybe how they were raised, and they feel like this is some militant stuff. But I do believe at a time there was a reason for parents to say, just do as I say. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't be questioning me. Boom. But this time, with all this technology and with all the different strategies that we have learned on how to parent, and the ways we have learned how minds work, and mental behaviors and stuff like that, I think we supposed to be more advanced enough to communicate with our kids when we tell them to do something.
Right. Okay. I agree with that. I completely agree.
And it's more that we got to teach kids more than compliance. We got to. Like back in the day, it's very different from, say, like my dad who grew up like in a segregated society. Like if his grandmother was telling him, okay, don't you go through the building that way. Like there was a reason for that. Like back then, people were getting killed for walking in the wrong places and buildings and getting strung up by trees and stuff. We're really not in that era anymore. Like compliance was very important then. Now that we know better than our elders, we should be doing better. Like it's nothing wrong with expecting compliance from your kid, but explaining to your children, this is why you need to be compliant in this area. That's where some of us are missing the mark. We don't want to have the conversation. And we have to have the conversation, because how else are they going to learn to think and make decisions on their own? How are they going to learn how to do that? How are they going to be able to identify like their high risk thoughts and thoughts that get them in trouble versus, okay, this is what we're teaching you at home, and this is why we're teaching you this at home. Like you got to have conversations. And yes, there's dysfunction in every family, absolutely. But if you know better, it's up to us with every generation. We're responsible for evolving and doing better. And we got to do it, because if we don't, we're going to see some of these things that we continue to see in the school system, that we continue to see in the public. That's just what it is.
Yeah, I agree, y'all.
I also think if I know some parents don't know how to communicate without. Well, they know how to communicate. They just don't know how to properly communicate with their kid. Because I've heard parents try to explain some things to their kids about certain things. You like, hold on, you telling them too much. You know, like you ain't supposed to be saying all of that. That's just like for the age. Sometimes you be like, I want to talk to my daughter about certain things like that when they like, you know, I've been seeing some, and we call them ratchet parents. You know what I'm saying? When they be talking to their kids about, you know, and then you want to talk to that little boy, and he probably gonna have you end up sucking. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. You be like, it's a different. You're not supposed to say all of that. You know, just say, you know, just watch out for these little boys. They're nasty. You know what I'm saying? But I just say some like my wife said, like friends talking to her daughters like they was grown, you know, like goddamn, no, they you gotta if you not at that point where you know how to switch up and talk to, like, cause you know kids do it all the time. They'll come in and they talk to adults how they will talk to their friends. You know, you expect that from a kid, but as adults, we should know how to talk to this type of person and that type of person, this type of person. And some adults just don't know how to code switch, and they be talking reckless to their kid, and now they kid a little bit traumatized, or you know, it's kind of crazy. So you know, and I understand, you know, why some parents will say like just do what I say, because like you say, they feel they uncomfortable with explaining to the kid why, you know. And sometimes that might be the best way for them at that point, but they still got to figure out and find a way to communicate with their kids better, to explain stuff to them before the wrong person try to explain it to them, and now it's really bad, you know.
Yeah, I think about like the kids who were like I had to say not necessarily sheltered coming up, but their parents told them they couldn't really do a lot. And maybe they weren't sheltered, but their their parents like always said, just do what I say, do what I say, not as I do, and don't ask no questions. You know, kids don't ask questions. Don't ask me why, just do it. You know, they grow up and they don't even understand, like we've been talking about, why their parents have been telling them, you know, watch who your friends are, watch who you hang out with, you know, they don't understand. So then they do everything that you told them not to do. And that's why you'll see them like, you know, kind of like go wild, you know, once they hit the college age, because they literally don't know anything. All you did was restrict them. You didn't teach them. You didn't really raise them. You just restricted them and controlled them. And now you can't control them and they don't know anything. Not saying that everybody's going to make some mistakes, right? But it's like you have some people who go out there, you literally send your kids out there to the world and they don't know anything, but mama said don't do it. And I think we all know a lot of times when you tell somebody not to do something, it makes them want to do it even more. Yeah.
Man, what you talking about? Look at Ashley describing my childhood. I love it. Because I love my grandma dearly. I do. Like, I tear up because some of the stuff my grandma told me, now I know why she told me what she told me. But at the same time, I can honestly say she definitely wasn't a friend of mine, but she definitely was a beacon of light. Like, I'm telling you, as a grown woman who has had children and has experience with men, this is what you don't want to do. And I'm glad I listened to her, because even though it was like, you can't date, you can't do this, you can't do that, I had to figure out so much on my own. But even in that same token, I got to use what she taught me to actually make my own decisions when it did come to men, and it actually paid off. So, that whole I ain't your friend, that's working. Because I'm not your friend. We can communicate, but I'm not your friend.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we hit the 20-minute mark with that conversation. Before I change conversations, I want to play a little clip. Oftentimes we laugh, right, at Black parenting, even though it's so darn dysfunctional at times. But here's just a little short, funny clip.
Mommy! No, pull your hands down like you did in school.
Mommy, are you gonna hit me?
The longer you make me wait, the harder I'm gonna hit. Oh boy, do not play with me today. Do not play with me. I'm not the one to play with. Don't cry yet. I didn't even touch you. But bring the ass here.
Mommy, please.
Y'all, don't do that to your kids. Don't do it.
Cause let's just be honest, and I ain't gonna say no more. I can talk about parenting all day. But some of these kids, y'all hitting them and it's making them worse. I'm just gonna put it out there.
Well, shit, that was the first time I did with my son when he was in school, being mad as humping on girls. The only time I whooped him, so shit. Yeah. What else to do? Like, this shit is serious. You can't be humping a little girl that like you about to raise no rapists. What's going on right now?
Right.
But I was much younger too. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't have the skills that I have now to communicate with him and talk to him. So I was like just going off, emotion mostly, and and what I thought I should do at that moment.
Yeah. And I think we had this conversation before. Like, if Raven was here, she'd be like, no hitting, no spanking, no nothing. But, I'm not really one of those that's like, don't ever do it. Because I'm a firm believer. You spare the rod, you spoil the child. I do believe that. I just think, unfortunately, a lot of parents, because of what you just said, they don't know what else to do, or they're emotional. And that's like
they do it for everything.
Exactly. We talked about
everything is a whooping time.
Yeah. And then it just becomes like just toxic, right?
Take your ass to bed. Why you in? Hey, I ain't gonna put I love my grandma, R.I.P. But she used to whoop us for laughing. My grandma used to whoop me and my cousin ass for laughing too much. Like, it was because we was just goofy, and at the time we'd get a whooping and keep on laughing again. We get about 3 or 4 whoopings that night, because we was just real goofy. But
them whoopings must not have been that good.
Man, they wouldn't like the whoopings like
couldn't have been.
But it was like little spankings, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was enough to make us shut up for like a couple of minutes, you know what I'm saying? It'd be like, and then we'd say something, and then but we was just too goofy. We just kept, you know what I'm saying? But
all right, y'all. All right, so welcome to the ladies' room. We are talking about a whole bunch of good stuff tonight, y'all. Before we get into our normally scheduled program, we got to take a little detour because we want to respond to, a video that featured us, the Ladies' Room podcast, on their channel. All right, Darren, you wanna kind of lead this one?
I really don't know how to lead it because I don't really know what was going on.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and play a clip. There is a clip from Black Man Unfiltered Network where he is talking about Simpson, what else? Spineless men. And I happened to come across our video or a snippet of our video. I was checking it out because I got a message from Black Man Unfiltered, and I thought it was from Canon, but it was from Black Man Unfiltered. And I'm like, oh, okay, it sounds like he had Darren on the show or something. So I went to go check it out. And lo and behold, I see this clip. So I'm going to go ahead and play it for you guys. All right, here we go. So...
Something. Okay, you're gonna pay Kotex or something that girls do already.
Put the what the
Get that whole town out there laying on that bed.
man. Come on, man.
Wait, hold on. I got the wrong one. Here it is. No, that's not it.
That's one big sausage party right there, ain't it?
Oh, he's so silly. All right, here we go.
At her level or above, she half-ass understands this, but she doesn't like it. They'll never accept her the way she is.
Yeah. FERTs is a representation of what happens when you don't take care of the simp and the spineless.
Yeah, that's it.
He's had no skill, nothing, but he brought down the 300 by himself. That motherfucker went told all the secrets, told how to get behind them, how to beat them, and they were able to destroy the 300 who had took down so many, right? Because of him, because of one simp who did what? They offered him pussy, and he chose pussy and betrayed the Spartans.
Yeah. What I call an infiltrator.
Yeah, exactly. So what I want to do, guys, I want to play a little bit of this young man. I just reached out to him again. I'm getting nothing in return, guys. I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
He ain't going up here.
The suspense is killing me. Who is it?
I'm about to show you.
You don't want to know, bro.
He's been on this show before, and Sir Hell gave him the business.
Oh my God.
Damn. Sir
Wow.
Hell gave him and his wife business. Damn.
Oh, he got a wife? Oh my God.
Oh yes. I love him to death. I don't, we don't attack the person, we attack their argument.
Right.
I love him to death. I just completely disagree. So I'm pulling it up now. Let's see here.
Treat him like Thanos. You know what I'm saying? Dreaded.
I already know who it is.
Oh, you know who it is? Rick?
Yeah, I got an idea.
How this nigga know who I am?
Right.
I don't know. You famous in these streets, apparently.
I tried to get all of it. I don't think I did because I was in a hurry. But let us play. Here we go. Oh, look at the devil. Let me turn this off.
I want the devil.
Because I want y'all to hear this.
He being the devil.
Take pride in, like helping a woman with a flat tire. A woman living by herself and she has a house and it needs to be snowed out. Oh, I ain't shoveling no snow. I'm not doing this. Like.
All right. So just so you guys know, so he's basically trying to show a clip from our show from last week, right? And we were talking about how men today complain about a lot of like manly things. We hear a lot of men complaining about they're not shoveling snow for a woman that's not their woman, and they're not entitled to do that or obligated to do that. And we all agree they're not obligated to do it, right? And I'm gonna play a little clip. Should I play the guy speaking first, or should I play Darwin?
Yeah, play the guy.
Okay, so we're gonna play the guy and what he had to say about this whole conversation, right? Okay, so here we go. Yes, Cannon repping her man.
Isn't he lovely?
Yeah.
Isn't he wonderful?
Isn't he wonderful? Okay, let's see if it'll do it now.
So the video's not playing for them, right?
It wasn't doing this a few minutes ago. Hold on. Let's see what happens.
Property, because we all.
All right, and this is what the guy decides to say.
Let's see what happens.
Yeah, man, I would blow their sidewalk. I blow my sidewalk. I blow and pause on that.
Pause. I was just
But
gonna get
God
you.
damn.
I was about to
Or
tell
throw. I would throw the snow. That's what we normally say.
Okay.
No throws. But I would clean up. It doesn't matter if they're a woman or not, man. It's like we're neighbors, right? That's just what men do. We're neighbors. I I got a neighbor. Sometimes he'll come over and ask me if I need to get, some trees, limbs chopped down. We see that our property, because we all are community, right? If we see our shit needs to be done, man, sometimes we just do it. It's the same thing with family. It's the same thing with friends. When it comes down to this whole thing of if she needs to get her snow blowed or if you need to change a tire and stuff like that, that doesn't matter if she's a woman or a man to us. You know what I'm saying? We see somebody in need. A lot of times, man, we would just help a person, right? This bullshit about women out here on their own, it is what it is. When you have had a man in your life and you got rid of that man because of your own frivolous ego or whatever it is, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. We're not talking about that. When we're talking about these things, let me tell you, one of the things that we do, man.
All right. So of course they go on to add stuff that we didn't even say. It's always going to be, if a man's not doing something, it's always because the woman got rid of him, the woman left him. They just completely took it left, right? Adding in whatever they want to add in. So that's what he said. He's pretty much like, well, that's what men do. We don't complain. My friends, this is what we do in our neighborhood. It don't matter. We just men. That's what men do. Now, here is what Darwin says. All right. Let me play the clip from Darwin. And then we're going to respond.
Yeah. Like the group of men I hang around don't have a problem doing that. Like shoveling snow, changing flat tires, whatever it is to help a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like who complains about helping women? What man complains about helping women? Only a man that's not getting what they want from that woman. Because when you help somebody, you're doing that for you. You're supposed to be doing that for yourself, for one. So if someone asks you for some help, if you don't want to do it, just don't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you feel like doing it, then do it and feel good about doing it because you did something out the kindness of your heart. But these men these days, they always have to get something in return. So that's not how a man that's supposed to be a protector and a provider is supposed to work. Now, you can be that, but don't sit up here and act like you're this high value man just because you claiming you making six figures or what.
All right, so let's respond to that. Let's respond. So they make an issue out of what Darwin said, basically insinuating that he's a sim, he's this, blah, 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 blah. And it's just funny because Darwin really didn't say anything different from what the guy said. He didn't say much different. He said, my group of friends, we do this. Men do this. Men do that. Like, what grown man who really acts like, who really is this upstanding man and leader in the community would have any issue with what our triple OG said? Like, what y'all got to say?
Man, if you just mad because Darwin beat y'all to the punch, just say that. Like, for real. Like, oh my God. Oh my God.
These are to me, these are some bitter men for whatever reason they bitter for, and they seeking approval of their brothers. And so they get on these little platforms, they talk crazy, and since I don't seek their approval, I'm not trying to be part of the little brotherly code stuff. They want to try to point me out when I say it basically the same thing he said, but whatever, I really wouldn't care because, like I said, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do anyways. Only problem I had with that is the point that he said that he gave my wife the business. If he would have just said he gave me the business, okay, whatever, I'm cool. I don't care. But don't never sit here and say you gave my wife the business like you was checking us about something that we said or anything. I don't even recall what he gave us the business about. So-called gave us business about. I have no idea. Don't even remember who's supposed to gave me the business. Like, it was so long ago. I'm surprised they even still know me. But I just be getting sick and tired of these guys that's part of this little bro code stuff and try to claim that they these good guys, but they would rather seek approval of men instead of women. And I don't want to call them. It's just kind of suspect to me, you know. Like seriously, like I would never. I don't want to get too, you know.
Well, hold on.
It don't even matter.
Before you go down there, but let me just add some more context from that video though too, because so after that guy spoke, another guy stepped in. Like they didn't get to watch the video first of all, so maybe one person had the context of the video, but no one else really did. And so, I mean, I don't even know what they were responding to. But then the second guy came in and said, he said, you know, this guy can't tell me about my relationship, and I'm sick of guys trying to do that. And it's like, nobody, what? Like that didn't even happen. And then another guy, to your point, Bae, came on and said, if he's doing that for a woman, like shoveling her snow, anything like that, then she better give him some ass. He said it just like that, like literally.
Oh my God. So he literally proved exactly what Darwin said.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, but see, that's my point. They try to disguise things, you know, and try to make it.
And they all sat there giggling.
Yeah, I'm a simp because
he literally clicking their heels together.
hey, they giving each other chest bumps and dick bumps over there. I mean, it's kind of weird to me, you know. I can never be a part of something like that, you know. And a lot of my friends, they do disagree with me about certain things and stuff like that, but they don't sit up here and call me simps or anything because they, at the same time, I know people got difference of opinions, you know what I'm saying? So whatever they got going on, I you know, and I don't even knock them for it. I just understand that. I just understand we different, you know, and what they went through in their life that make them have these perspectives on is not what I went through. You know, I've been fortunate enough to be raised by good women. I've been fortunate enough to have good women in my life. Even if they didn't stick around, I was never mistreated by women. And I just feel like these men have been mistreated some type of way by these women, and they holding some type of grudge and some type of bitterness towards them, and they just won't let it go. And the men that hasn't went through that, they just followers. They just followers trying to be a part of something, and that's the only way they know how to be. And followers always flock to the masses because they need them big numbers to feel like they somebody, right? So I will stand alone every time if I got to. I really don't care, you know. So if they got to be part of this little brotherly code and do all the wrong things to make each other feel good, that's all good with me. I really don't, you know, that's their thing, you know.
Yeah, it's just like, I think some men, not all, but some men have such a hard time admitting fault. Like they will attack. They will not listen, which is exactly what happened on this show. Nobody even heard the clip, right? Like nobody even really heard the clip. Apparently, Black Man Unfiltered, you know, apparently he didn't listen to it or listen to understand, because you're criticizing somebody for saying something that the person on your panel literally just said. And then not only that, it's like, I just think then they went to, oh, well, if you ain't got a man, you got rid of him. You know, it's always going to turn back to like what a woman does, because it's hard for some men to say, oh, this is where as a whole, we need to do better. Like as a whole, nobody's pointing fingers and saying you, but as a whole. Yet they spend a lot of time talking about women as a whole and all the things that women need to do as a whole. It's just really, really funny. And I want to play another clip, but go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I was kind of giggled with that. He said, oh, he married. Oh, you like I wasn't supposed to be married.
Yeah.
Man.
Like, hey,
man.
So what
you too? You giggled too? I did too.
So he said that I was looking at you and I was supporting you and I was happy about you. I was like, okay.
See, that's my thing. And a lot of times when I'm in these discussions with these men, they always sit up here and say, like, you just trying to get brownie points, nigga. She don't want to fuck you, this and that. Like, I don't say the stuff I'm saying to try to get some pussy from women. I'm saying the stuff I'm saying because that's what I believe in. I'm saying the stuff I say because I have a mother, a sister, I have daughters. It ain't got nothing to do with another woman and they coochie. And that lets me know that that's what their mind is at. You know what I'm saying? Because they automatically try to deflect that shit on me. Like, oh, you trying to be a simp. No, I just know right for wrong, and sometimes I do wrong, sometimes y'all do wrong, but y'all not go ever admit that shit, and y'all just go try to cover it up with some old gaslighting shit towards the women because y'all don't want the women to catch on to y'all game. And that's fine and dandy, but don't try to drag me into that shit because I will expose all of y'all asses.
I got a lot to say, but play the clip. I got a lot to say.
So let me ask you, BM, you said you know him personally, right?
No.
Grammy, you want to add something to the conversation, brother? Because I know you've been waiting.
Where do I start? Where do I end? The better question is, there's so much to add here. This guy's opinion, I think it's like toilet paper I wipe my ass with, to be honest with you. That's the best way I can put it. You cannot sit there and tell me, you know, how to live my life and tell how I'm gonna be with my women when you don't know me personally. Try and give me advice.
Sidebar into the it's down on right now. I appreciate that, Uncle Rick.
They still talking about me?
About that, Kotex doing that, coming up with a channel.
I'm sorry, y'all.
How they letting all the Mexicans in that.
Sidebar into the it's down on right now. I appreciate that.
Grammy, you want to add something to the conversation, brother? Because I know you.
Together, we had conversations. They had their girlfriends or wives. Wait, they were running away from the conversation. I knew it, and that's where I'd be like, that ain't gonna be my friend. That's not.
Wipe my ass with, to be honest with you.
Man, I can't find it. Oh, I'm annoyed. I can't find it, y'all. But
which one are you looking for?
I was trying to find the one you were talking about where he was like, I'm not, I can't.
Unless you're gonna sleep with me.
Yeah, and that's literally what we have been talking about. Basically talking about all the guys and like you can't gaslight nobody in 2024. Okay. Like if I had the time to screenshot and keep receipts of all the crazy stuff that I see on Facebook and on Instagram and on YouTube, like there's no way that you can gaslight anybody. Like you can't fool anybody because they try to constantly tell us we don't see what we see, and we literally see it every day, all day. Like I've seen so many conversations on social media from men who are like, well, I ain't got to carry no woman's bags. She ain't my woman. And, just saying, oh, I don't have to do this. We ain't sleeping together. Like there are men who literally think like that, and they are very vocal about it. And we did say that no man is obligated to do anything for anybody. But
that's the problem they have.
Person.
Yeah. That's the problem they have with me because I'm gonna say some stuff that they don't want to, I'm gonna tell the truth. They don't want the truth to be out there about how men really think. And that's why he had the title, The Barbershop Talk and stuff like that, because the stuff that men say in the barbershop is totally different from how they really act. You know what I'm saying? So they will come out and play this little game and gaslight you all and stuff like that. And I stay out of it. But when they try to mess with me and talk crazy to me, then man, this is how it is. I will, and my thing is, don't be mad at me because I give women game. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's not even your woman. Like, and most of them are married, right? And they mad at me for giving women game. Shouldn't you give your daughter's game, your cousin's game, your niece's game? So why would they be mad at me because I'm giving out game to women that they supposed to don't even like because they supposed to be married and got these women this and that. So I don't even understand it, but whatever.
Oh, I understand it completely.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Joe.
I understand it completely. We've seen this before. It's just like those guys that walk around saying that, oh, marriage doesn't really benefit men. It only benefits women. And really, what I really be wanting to say is, if you've been in 5,000 relationships and they've all broken up and you refuse to look at yourself, just say that. Just say that. Just say that you're not the long-term relationship type. If you grew up in a home where no one really taught you how to, not even about chivalry, but you grew up in a home where another man did not teach you how to be a community person, where you use your gifts and your strength to pull up the next person, just say that. But don't be sitting around talking about how men are simps because they decide to shovel their female neighbor's snow, or they see a little, or they give her, hey, I just noticed your air on your tire is a little low. Like, if no one ever taught you to notice those small things as a man, don't try to take that out on our guy Darwin. Like, deal with your own issues. Like, I get sick and tired of people making these trumped up, large opinionated statements about how this works for women, but it don't work for men, or vice versa. And a lot of it is, just as Cannon has said so much on our show, it's just you telling on yourself. You're literally showing us, like the one guy that commented, how you gonna give me advice about me and my woman? Dude, he ain't even talk about you and your woman.
Right.
Like, what are you going through where that one comment triggered you? Like, if you're triggered, then just say that. Like, really honestly, like, work on yourself. I say it all the time. The common denominator to every failed connection that you have in your life is yourself. And if it comes down to you and the other person, the only person that you have control over is yourself. So if you're the guy walking around saying that other men are simps because they're helping just random women, like whether it's, say for instance, Ashley, you're at the grocery store and you're looking at your tire, or you looking and someone like Darwin is like, yeah, that doesn't look right. Maybe you should call your mechanic, or hey, I can help you change your tire. If you the man that never had a man in your life to show you how to change a tire, just say that. Stop taking out your anger and frustration on people who actually have actual social skills. Like, if you want some, they're there. You can go get them. I charge by the hour. Like, they there. Like, stop taking out your frustrations. Like, seriously.
See the hey, and the old me, the pre-married me, man, I probably would have been upside some heads anyways. You know what I'm saying? Like, now I could just sit back and laugh about stuff like this. Like, but the old me would have been like, you see this belt back here? You're like who? Like, I would have been on that. Like, but now I just be like, they don't even know no better. So, and I ain't even gotta prove that no more to these. Like, it wouldn't even mean nothing to be going back and forth with these dudes. They don't want, they in a whole nother arena, You know what I'm saying? And
like, seriously, like, you gotta make everybody else feel bad.
Yeah, and listen to this part. So
Yeah.
I found
You're being nice tonight, Darwin, because I'm gonna just say it. Just say you don't know how to. Just say that.
Yeah, but they tell on themselves. They're about to tell on themselves right now. Watch this.
I done sit back and talk to a gang of dudes, bro, and these motherfuckers are straight up cowards, dog. They talk totally different when they with you, but all you gotta do is to humble their ass, put their woman right in front of them, and it's on the pop.
You know what's funny, man? He wants to volunteer his services for all these women, but none of these women came over to help his wife wash no clothes, cook no dinner. You know what I'm saying? But they want you to borrow your husband's powers to go do something for some other woman who didn't humble herself enough to become a better woman. But you gonna render your services for the free. Make that make sense. Make that make sense.
What he described is slavery. That's what he described.
Truly, that's what slavery is.
That's exactly what he described. He won't refer to it that way. But what you're telling me to do is to go work and do manual labor for someone for nothing, for absolutely nothing. I have no problem doing anything out of the kindness and the goodness of my heart, but I will do it for people who genuinely deserve it. The lady who lives next.
Isn't that exactly what we just said? Like,
what was he finna say right there? The lady.
Okay, hold on. Let me play it.
Oh shit!
Next to me doesn't deserve my help. She doesn't. This is just the truth. She just doesn't.
Why?
Right? And I have even said to her, because she's asked me, and I've said to her straight to her face, "Where's your husband?" And her response was, "I don't need one of those. That's all I need to hear. Thank you.
Yeah,
that's all I need to hear. That's all I needed right there. You don't need a husband? Which means, well, guess what? You don't need me."
What?
Trey, I'm talking about, dog, the dudes that we are men of service.
Could you imagine?
I wonder,
right?
I wonder
Wait, but no,
these niggas having conversations like this.
No, we're in a pause.
No,
I wonder.
No, but it's the but we men of purpose at the end that y'all just caught at the end. Did y'all hear that? But we men of purpose.
So this what he do. So if a woman asks him for some help, he's gonna say, "Where's your husband at?" That's his response to that. It's something real crazy about that, because I relate that to the God damn, I go you one of y'all talk.
Hold on, okay.
Let me take another drink and I'm gonna get back to that.
Hold on, wait a minute. I wonder if these are homeowners. I wonder how long they've been neighbors. Like it is so odd. Like I have like both of my neighbors on this side and that side. We help each other out all the time. Just with, like we knock on each other's doors and ask for things all the time. Like, can you do this for me? Can you do that? Like just all the time. So it's what? Like that's so weird. Like I couldn't have like my neighbor. This is the person I live next to. Like we have homes next to each other. We probably gonna be living next to each other for years, right? You want to have good relationships with your neighbors. Like why wouldn't you look out for each other? Like what?
He the type of dude that want to know a female body count when he talk to him. Like you can tell like where your husband at. Like he's the type of like how many dudes you done slept with, because why would he ask her where's her husband? Like, is this your neighbor?
Because it's so weird. Because she
don't got a husband because that's your neighbor, right?
But there has literally been times when our next door neighbor, like my car, like Dar want to be at work wherever he's at, and maybe my car won't start. I need to jump or something like that. I can go knock on my neighbor's door. He gonna come over. He just gonna give me a jump, and vice versa. I've given him jumps too.
Hey, babe, they think you the guy.
Like, where is Darwin at? Why is he not here?
Hey, I can see them now. They over there like she fucking the neighbor. She fucking him.
But this is what I
mean. He give her a jump.
That's the type of man they are. They're telling on themselves.
Wow.
But this is another thing that I noticed. Like he said, why should I help somebody that don't even deserve my help? He's already decided in his mind that this woman doesn't deserve his help. He's already decided. I don't know which one was like, well, why should this wife lend out her husband's services because you didn't want to become a better woman?
He said husband powers. That's what he said. He said husband powers.
He said, is that woman coming over helping your wife wash clothes?
Yeah, so because this woman is not married, then she's automatically somebody that is not willing or hasn't become a better woman. It's just it's like the arrogance to me. So many of them they got so much fuel from like Kevin Samuels. They just want to shame women who are single and just have all these assumptions. She don't deserve, like you don't know anything about this woman. This could be a wonderful woman, and maybe she's single because she avoided men like you. Like you
I just cannot imagine. I'm really sitting here flabbergasted because I just really cannot imagine my neighbor coming over and asking me something. I'm like, "Where's your wife?" Like what?
Right.
Weird.
Actually, she probably responded the way she did because he knows that she doesn't have a husband.
Exactly.
But to me, that also sounds that sounds in and of itself as a.
He want to just shame her for no reason. He's a bully. He's a bully.
But it's like to me that sounds like a sexual thing. Like if I was to say that to don't that sound like I want to be his wife or something? If I'm like, where's your wife at? Right? Like don't that sound weird? Like what? Like what?
That's crazy. Like if you're always thinking that people trying to help you because they want something from you, that speaks more to your trauma and your life experience than anything, boo. I'm just saying.
Probably because you always trying to get something from somebody. You know
but
what I mean?
But did you see his cheerleaders though? They was like, yeah, they was rooting him on. Like my wife be rooting me on when I be talking. That's how they was rooting him on.
It's crazy.
Backstage, we're gonna let her in a second.
It's crazy. Like seriously, like I'm like you, Cannon, because I'm thinking about the neighborhood we live in. Like I'm about to leave my dog with my neighbor tomorrow because I'm going out of town.
Right.
Her husband did not come over and say, well, where's Irvin? Why are you leaving the dog? Like nobody who does that? Nobody does this. And it's just like you've always said, and you make such a great point when you say this. They tell on themselves every time. Like, who are y'all married to, or who are y'all sleeping with, where you don't understand basic rules of decency? Like, seriously, that's just like saying that everybody your grandma baked the cake for back in the day. You know, grandmas. Like one thing about our culture, we were a culture of community. Okay. Like I know I grew up in a small town. Everybody knew everybody. That's just like saying that if my grandma baked the cake for like someone who's become a widower, oh, your grandma sleeping with him now? Like it's just stupid. It is just ignorant on all levels. Like hilarious for real. Like
hey girl, hey, jumping out with some ladies. Hey,
I see.
Oh, my bad. I was running about and stuff like that. Apologies. I had to get things taken care of today. and I
Don't say
needed
my
some
car is
expedited
topless,
service.
okay? Don't say my car is topless. That's the only lyric I'm gonna let you finish the rest of the lyrics.
But girl, did you see this foolishness? Did you see this? Like, and I just love the way they started out. We don't attack a person, we attack their argument. But then basically called Darwin a simp. And what did they say? Say he needs to take his tampon out. Like, that's attacking a person. All because
I'm so glad
Darwin,
you brought that up. I don't listen to men that make jokes about feminine hygiene products. We not in 6th grade. Are we still making jokes about tampons?
That's the same
At our
thing I
big
was
grown
thinking.
ages? At our
I
big
was
grown
like,
ages?
I was like, that is so weird.
But see,
I'm not liking that,
but that's
guys.
the thing. I don't know who they be thinking they talking to. Like, talk about we not attacking a person. Yes, y'all are. This is very personal. It's just the fact that I just don't give a fuck about y'all that much to make it that, you know, say enter. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really don't care because the fight that I would fight ain't the fight that they would fight. So I wouldn't fight them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not a bully like that. So I'm not gonna go over there trying to impose my manly powers on them because they're not ready for it. So they can sit back and talk about all this crazy stuff all they want. Hey, at the end of the day, I'm on a platform with some beautiful ladies. They're on a platform with some dick huggers.
Some
and they over here talking about beautiful ladies and calling me a simp.
Oh, they said that too. They said you're over here in the ladies' room.
Yeah.
They over there acting like literally acting like the female woman haters club. Literally, the female woman haters club.
Lunch table.
And the thing is,
what is it? The He-Man woman haters.
When I went on their show,
it's giving 5th and 6th grade vibes. That's what it's giving.
Yes, like
That's
you're
what
in
it's giving.
the ladies.
The thing is this: when I went on their show that first time, I was excited to be on the panel with men and have these manly discussions and stuff like that. I was like, cool, you know what I'm saying? What's up? I even wore a tie, I think. I was like, yeah, let's do this. You know what I'm saying? I was excited. I got on there and it was like talking to my son and his friends.
Pandemonium.
It was crazy. Like, I was just like, oh, I can't do this. You know, I can't do this one because they wasn't making no sense. Just as you can see, they don't make any sense. So why would I devalue myself like that to even conversate with these men like that, you know? And then they asked me
Well,
to come
he's invited us back. You don't want to go? Don't you want to go?
No. The thing is this: I would go if it's gonna be
productive.
Exactly. But the thing is don't try to invite me on some shit thinking you gonna set me up because that's what they do. That's what they do in YouTube. It's just not gonna happen because guess what? My thoughts is going to be my thoughts regardless. You know what I'm saying? I don't really care. Like, you know, I can go in a room full of 100 men and I can have different views from all of them and just won't be bothered. I really won't care. You know what I'm saying? So if they think they can just come in there and just be thinking they go give me the business, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know.
No, that's what I mean. I'm open to again. Like, I mean, I don't have no ill fit. Like, the thing is that it's so it's just so obvious and so transparent that like I have no issue with going on. And I don't even remember again the last conversation we had when we went on that show, but it had to be something about our relationship specifically or how we organize our relationship.
I think it was something about like some 50-50 stuff, 100 and whatever that. I think it was something like that.
It was about our but we were specifically talking about the way we run our relationship.
Exactly. And because I remember he was asking us questions like, so I remember now.
Yeah, so
he was asking us questions like, so if y'all had a decision to make, who would make that decision? If it's and I was like, it depends on what the decision is about. You know what I'm saying? Like, if she's stronger in this field, she gonna make the decision. If I'm stronger, how do you know who's stronger? Because we both grown adults, nigga. Then we know each other. You know what I'm saying? I know my wife, she knows me, so I know what she's strong in. She knows what I'm strong in. So it's never gonna be. We're not gonna be butting heads on shit. Like if it's an area to move in, my wife is in real estate. I'm going with her. Like, you know, I'm not about to be like. And dudes do that. They try to butt heads their wives just because they feel like I'm the man. I got to say it. No. You don't have a say in this. Sorry. You're not well versed in that. So let her have it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what a couple do. You know what I'm saying? That's why it ain't 50-50. It's 100 with us. You know what I'm saying? Because I know her. She knows me, and we're here. So when she makes a decision, I trust her to make it for both of us. It's not no, oh, this is her decision. No, she making a decision for both of us. I make a decision for both of us. It's not, oh, she made a decision and you just followed. No. My wife knows me. I know
you don't need to explain. You don't need to explain yourself to any male whose best legal advice when dealing with custody is to move to a state where kidnapping is legal. Like, you don't need to deal. And y'all know what I'm talking about. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about.
He said, take him to the park and never take him home. Don't never bring him back home.
It's just some people, especially, shout out to the 40/40 Club. Okay, those of us who have breached that big number. It's just some people that I'm just not gonna entertain. But let me tell you something. If y'all do decide to go on the show, let me just let them know that his name Triple OG for a reason. Okay, like, I don't know what you're used to, but this man is a man. Okay, as my favorite man in my life says, I'm a man, baby. He a man.
Yeah.
So don't think you gonna push buttons.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, you just gonna get away with it. Like, that's not what we're doing here. Like
men who are really running stuff, who are really running stuff, don't need one more thing to run. I think, unfortunately, in our communities, and just because of the status that Black men have in America, a lot of Black men, they just want the power, control. The easiest place to get it is with their woman, right? And so it's like everything's about power. Like, I remember that conversation y'all had about partnership, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, my granddaddy, a real man, all man, hardworking, well-respected by everybody, would never sit up here and argue about the word partnership. Like, who cares? Like, my mom growing up in the house, really my grandmother growing up in the house, she took care of the house. She didn't have to go to work. My grandfather paid all the bills. My mom was very vocal, like a lot of Black women, right? But at the end of the day, who had to say so? And they all had respect, but we respected the patriarch in our family because he was a man. He was a respectable man on so many, not just because he paid the bills, but just in so many ways, everybody respected him. So it's like he didn't have to do this tug of war. Well, it's not a partnership. Like, he wouldn't even care about it. Like, who cares?
No, but the thing is, Ashley, that again, going back to what the other gentleman said when he said, who is he to give me advice and tell me how to run my relationship with my woman? It's like, no, that's what you guys are doing. Like, literally, like, nobody came and told y'all, like, you need to do this way. Like, you ask these questions, right, in this space, which to me should just open dialogue if you're really interested in understanding different, because, I mean, everybody handles their life differently. To each his own, whatever.
Yeah.
And so you having a conversation, then you're asking questions and you just show genuine interest. But it doesn't seem like you're showing genuine interest. It shows like you're just trying to criticize or dismantle someone else's relationship that's not your relationship. That like because you're not gonna change our mind and be like, oh my God.
But the thing,
what are you even thinking? Like, I don't know. It's wild.
But another thing why men try to battle with women that they're woman is because it reminds them that they made a bad mistake.
They made a mistake of their woman.
Yeah, because the thing is this: if he allows her to make decisions, that's not the woman for him. So he's not even in agreement with those decisions. He don't trust her with those decision makings because that's not the woman for him. And because if that was the woman for him and she made decisions, he would be cool with it. No one is going to complain about decisions that's beneficial to you, right? So when these men just don't trust these women that they with. So it reminds them that they picked the wrong woman, or they not into the woman that they with, or whatever the case may be. It's just not that, because I've heard plenty of men change their tune when they found the good woman. Like I had friends that talked one way with one woman, but then when they got another woman, I was like, damn, he's talking different. He must really like her. You ever heard that? Like, damn, he must really like her. No, yeah, he made a good choice this time. She's more compatible. You know what I'm saying? And he trusts her more. You know, whether because he got to know her a little bit better or because he got lucky. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But these dudes sit up here and they don't like the partnership that me and my wife have because they don't like the partnership that they and they partner have. So they kind of jealous of that. Like, damn, he can. I can sit in my house comfortable and not have to make all the decisions because I picked a good fucking wife. They sit up there and they worry like, damn, she can't make these decisions, this and that, because they feel like she's not making the best decisions for the whole family, and that's just giving them the benefit of the doubt. I'm just saying this to you know what I'm saying, like that they might not trust, or because I don't want to just say they just some fucked up dudes and they got some women issues and this and that. So that's the benefit of doubt. Me saying they just don't trust the woman to make all the decisions, so they want to make all the decisions. You know.
Honestly, here's what I think it is. We talked a little bit about this before. A lot of black men, and shout out to the black men who are not like this. I'm actually going to shout out a channel that I came across this past week that are of black men who are just super smart, responsible. They seem to operate with some integrity and character. And they were talking about the way or the course that the Black manosphere has taken, and that the manosphere in general has taken, and had some really great things to say. And you know, we had talked about a few of these guys, these shows that you know are gaining some popularity, or some of them have been around for a long time, and they're so anti like manosphere as what we know it as, right? They're more in the background because they're not toxic, right? They're productive, right? So we don't hear about them as much as we heard about the Lapeef show and you know all these other shows that drew these very toxic, hurting men who lacked accountability, right? So shout out to all those guys, right? I'm gonna drop some channels later, but we talk about this all the time. There are a lot of these guys who I don't even think they really believe that women cannot make certain choices. I think they want us to think that. I think they want it to be the case that we feel like women, like, haven't y'all heard them talk about how women can't be rational? They can't make decisions. Yes. They need a man for that. They can't have structure. They can't do this. They can't, because they have to, the only way they feel like they have any type of use or position is if a woman can't do something, you know, rather than a woman being a capable human being and they also being a capable human being. It's like they have to kind of make a woman feel like she can't do certain things.
They have to make her feel smaller so that they can feel big. So they have to make her take less room so that they can take up more.
Yeah, basically. And so that's what I personally think it is with these guys. Like, you know, and they so salty. They just so salty, like coming up talking about telling me what to do with my, like, who was talking about the relationship?
Hey, fuck them. Let's go to our next topic.
I feel that.
Yeah, they tripping. We got some other good shit to talk about.
Yes. I will invite Black Man Unfiltered to come on the show. If you want to talk about it, you know, you can come on the show. You gotta explain this foolishness that happened.
Yeah, because I mean, the thing is again, it's no bad blood or anything.
Right,
it's
right.
We're actually attacking ideas. So
exactly.
Yeah, because I don't really know none of them personally. So I mean, I'm just going off what they saying, and I mean, listen, like I said, I got friends with these views. I mean, close friends, like people I call brothers. That if they came to Atlanta, boom, you stand at my crib, nigga. You ain't getting a hotel. You stand at my crib. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. But you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. All right, y'all. So we gonna squash that. I mean, Black Man Unfiltered. If you want to come, or anybody from your crew wants to come and try to combat anything we said, then that's fine.
And I don't want them to think I was invited on their show yesterday, but I had to work. Their show started at 7:30. I got off at 8:45. So, I mean, it is what it is. If they invite me again, I can make it. I will. It's nothing against them. I'm not scared to go on the show. So. I just couldn't make it, but
right. Okay. All right, y'all. So let's move on to our next topic. This topic is all about the Grammys. You all know we just had the Grammys. How important are the Grammys to Black entertainment? And the reason why I thought about this question is because of Jay-Z's speech. I didn't watch the Grammys. I saw a couple snippets, not really that much, right? But I do know that oftentimes when Jay-Z and Beyonce attend the Grammys, they have some statement, whether verbal or like symbolic, that is kind of like criticizing who wins. And not just the Grammys. I think they did this like with the Oscars, where they took a picture with the middle finger up. And so I want to play part of Jay-Z's part of his speech. And I want to know what y'all think about it. So let me go ahead and play. Did y'all watch the Grammys?
No.
Absolutely.
You
Absolutely.
did?
I
Okay.
watched. I did watch because I'm a fan of music, and Joni Mitchell performed for the very first time, and she is a phenomenal songwriter. So I wanted to see her perform at her golden age.
Okay. All right. I just not into those shows no more. But okay, here's Jay-Z.
She has more Grammys than everyone and never won album. She has more Grammys than everyone and never won album of the year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that.
Let me see. I want to see the whole.
Obviously, it's subjective because, you know, it's music and it's opinion based. But, you know, some things, you know, I don't want to embarrass this young lady, but she has more Grammys than everyone and never won album of the year. So even by your own metrics, that doesn't work. Think about that. The most Grammys, never won album of the year. That doesn't work.
All right. So he actually said, he also said something about like people in categories. There's some people who don't deserve to be in any category, right? So he was just real honest. He was like, look, when I'm nervous, I speak the truth. And that was his truth. That's what he believed was his truth. What do you all think about it?
Well, you know,
I think televised. Oh,
Go ahead.
I think televised award shows are going downhill anyway. I know back in the day, like the BET award show was like a whole thing. You know, everybody planned it. You DVR'd it on your television
The
or your TiVo.
performances.
Yeah, now it's just, you know, you see the red carpet, they're not even as hype as they used to be. So I think just the decline in general is happening. I think it's a little iffy when you get into like the Oscars and the Grammys and
Yeah.
Emmys and things like that because it's not just about Black people, unfortunately. As much as we want to win everything, you know, it's other people too. But to Jay-Z's point, I mean, whatever the metrics are, she could have won something, some album of the year. But again, I mean, it's white America. Are we surprised?
So one of the things that I saw that was interesting, a lot of people were saying is they was saying that they was being greedy or that they was being ungrateful. Like she wanted to win every award. And I was like, that is not even what that means. I was like, so because at the time, because I distinctly remember at the time, I remember when Beck won over her for when she did Lemonade. That was a big deal. Everybody was like, how did he win over Lemonade? Like that was a, you know, this and that. Or was it? I don't remember which album it was when Beck won, but I know when Adele won. I think Adele won over her for Lemonade. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
And Adele, when she accepted her speech, even Adele was like, "This should have been her award." Like even the person who won the award felt like that should have been her award. So then, how can you turn around and say she's just being greedy and mad because she can't win every award? Like the entire thing, just like he said, it's like you have a very specific type of artist that you want to win this award. And we call out those things in every avenue, and it shouldn't be a thing where a Black person, especially a Black woman, or her husband is told like, oh, well, you just be grateful for what you got. Like if you like, you can know you can still say, yeah, I got these accolades, but I was snubbed here, right? Like like my work speaks for itself and was of this quality, and I'm not the only person who feels that way. So I just want to tell her to shut up because you feel like she should just be grateful that she won what she won. Like that was wild to me. People was like saying that. They was like, they're being so ungrateful and they just think she's supposed to win every award. And I was like, that's not what that means.
You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the American Music Awards, the year that Whitney Houston put out her first or second album. I'm telling my age now. And it was flip-flop because the Black community was so upset with Whitney. She made a pop album. That wasn't R&B. Or when she made it to the Soul Train Awards, that's a pop album. What is she doing here? And it just speaks to how much progress we've made, but how far we have yet to go. Like what I really would love to see though is for Jay-Z and Beyonce to attend a BET Awards, like fully attend and be present. Because and it's too many sides of this. It's like go where you're welcome, and then it's like go where they'll let you in the door, but don't expect nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's I got what he was saying. I did, because I do think that the same year that Cannon is mentioning about Adele and I do think it was Lemonade. I cannot remember
it was
exactly
Lemonade because it was the only the thing is that what the biggest deal that people is making is that the way she's been making music and putting her albums together over the years has been revolutionizing the music industry.
It has.
Right?
She has. There's not a culture that she has not influenced. Period.
Right.
So it's just like, when does she get the flowers for the album of the year? But then it just speaks to how much work, just like and let me just say this too. Jay-Z is not the only artist, brown or white, who has had something to say about how they come up with these Grammy nominations and awards. Like there have been other artists in other cultures who have spoken up, like not maybe as bold as he has, but it's been a problem for a long time. And I'm like Raven, it's fading out because there's a new generation coming in and they literally don't get why y'all are not recognizing the artistry and the genius of some of these people. So I felt where he was coming from to a certain extent, but shout out to JMB. I need y'all to be at the next BET Awards. Like we gonna come on home. We'll roll out the red carpet for you.
Don't they usually go to the BET Awards though?
No, they do not. They do not. The last few times Beyonce has won, she ain't even showed up.
Oh, that's what I was saying. She only went that last time that she performed.
And
with Kendrick
I
Lamar.
think it's because I honestly think it's because she never goes, because I think because they show the BET Awards in June. I honestly do believe, and I might be mistaken, that she's usually on her tour or on a tour when they have the award ceremony. Look at me taking up for B, but I'm just saying.
Sometimes she's on tour, and that's not just her; that's artists in general. But I'm gonna give my 2 cents. So I agree partly with some of what y'all are saying. Like I do agree that just because you win so many other Grammys, that I don't think it makes her greedy to want to win in a particular category. I don't think it makes her greedy. Now, whether or not she deserves to win in a certain category, I can't definitively say she can't. Now, I love Lemonade, and I like a lot of things about Beyonce, but I also understand that, like Jay-Z said, it's opinion-based. It is opinion-based. Until they change the way the Grammys are nominated and how the winners are chosen, it's opinion-based. And
until they change also who's doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Opinions, yeah.
I agree. But also, like, these are like Beyonce is a big star, but Beck, who she lost against, I think in 2013 or something, when she lost to him in I think 15. He's a songwriter, musician. He writes all his music by himself. Beyonce has sometimes 20 to 30 writers on her albums. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but if you're talking about album of a year, then I would agree that a person who is very talented, does their own songwriting, does their own producing, is original, would deserve it over somebody who samples. more than 60% of her album. And Beyonce samples a lot.
So does Taylor Swift.
So, huh?
So does Taylor Swift, who's won 4.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Taylor Swift, I don't think the girl can sing at all, but she writes all her own stuff, right? She doesn't.
But you say you don't think she can sing though.
She doesn't sample nearly as much as Beyonce. Now, I don't think Taylor Swift, I have no clue of why this girl got so much praise. All I'm saying is that just how there are millions of people who love Taylor Swift, millions of people who love Beyonce, there are millions of people who love other artists too. So I think they're entitled. I think they're very entitled to think that just because you think Beyonce is the hardest working woman or the most talented, that means that she's supposed to win. I think it's very entitled to do that.
But you don't think that race plays a factor in that at all? You don't think that if she was a white female artist doing the same exact stuff that Beyonce was doing, that she would have won that album of the year? You don't think race plays any factor? You think that they're delusional about that?
I don't know if at this day and age race plays a factor. Think about who won this year. Tyler won, SZA won. What's that girl?
Coco Jones. No. That's the part that I think is being missed. It's not about them getting some type of award somewhere. It's like the same thing with the Oscars, right? It's like who's going to win Best Actor? How many times has a black person won like Best Actor, right? Or like they may get Best Supporting Actor. They may get all, and you could be like, oh, we gave y'all that, right? But the question becomes like the people who are going to get these overarching main awards, what do they look like, right? And so I mean, for me,
she's the most awarded Grammy artist. Like I don't know. I don't know if race is important.
But there's still, what I'm saying is that there's still a.
So get this. Y'all know who Wilt Chamberlain is, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so Wilt Chamberlain, he scored 100 points in a basketball game, right? He used to average like 50 points a game. Some shit that you have never heard of, right? 50 points a game, 60 points a game, getting 35 rebounds a game, all types of crazy numbers, right? But don't nobody call him the GOAT.
Nope.
Nobody calls him the GOAT because he ain't did certain things. And so when Jay-Z and Beyonce is talking about certain awards, it's because they're building a legacy. And they know without certain awards, without their name in certain places, 100 years from now, they might be overlooked. See, when people have built legacies, they looking towards the future. Like I want my name to be right there whenever they talk about anything, I want my name to be up there, right? On the Mount Rushmore type thing, right?
Yeah.
So Wilt Chamberlain did all this stuff, and still we don't say he the GOAT. We always say Michael Jordan or LeBron James. And sometimes we might throw in Russell because he got like 11 championships, stuff like that. But we never talk about Wilt Chamberlain when he scored more points than Michael Jordan in the game, all types of things. So it's all like Jay-Z says, it's all subjective. But at some point, you have to know like it's certain things that they're just not going to give us. It's certain awards in certain categories that they're just not going to give us out of the kindness of their heart or because we deserve it. You know, because they know like this award might put her above somebody else. Like so now when they look at Taylor Swift, they be like, oh, she got 4 of these album of the years. How many does Beyonce got? None. You know what I'm saying? Like they can always, you know what I'm saying, do that. You know what I'm saying? And they know these awards will put them over the top. And they don't want to put us over the top. That's not going to do that without a fight. So that's why Jay-Z's going on saying what he's saying. And I go back to what other black people are saying, like, why y'all want these awards from these white platforms and this and that? Because we deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, we all know we can go to BET Awards and get that. Okay, that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? I always look at Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. It was 2 struggles, right? One wanted to fight, one didn't want to fight, right? So I know I can play this game. I know I can play that game. But now we want to play the game that's going to get everybody over the hurdle because everybody deserves it. And once we break certain barriers, you know what I'm saying? It's all about breaking barriers. I want to put my name on this because if I'm the first black to do this, then it's go catapult.
But yeah, I also
and to speak to
Okay,
speak to
now I'm
Darva's point,
curious.
the reason
So,
why the reason why they don't put Wilt up high like they probably supposed to is because, and they just put out a really great documentary on him. I think I want to say HBO did it or Showtime. He was told, every time we speak up, we're told that we're arrogant. See, Wilt
and
knew his
delusional.
value. He knew his value. And so when he would speak up when some of the other players were getting, sit downs for business deals or contract numbers were being increased, and he done scored these 100 points, he knew his value. To me, it's just so funny how when we speak up for ourselves, we're greedy, we're arrogant. But when they look at Taylor and this whole bubbly personality and all of this or that, oh, she's so humble and she deserves it. And it's just like,
Deserves all the
well, she's not fighting the same fight.
Right.
Because see, from the day Beyonce was born, whether she became a music artist or not, we all know on this panel that unspoken fight that we all have to fight. Whether it's you being the only supervisor color on your job or being someone like Beyonce who's won the most Grammys, but ain't never been nominated or even won like album of the year. So it's just like, you cannot compare the two, because I don't care if it's 2024 or 1914. It's that unspoken fight that we're always having to constantly fight. See, Wilt Chamberlain knew his value, and because he spoke up about it, NBA officials and chairmen often referred to him as being, oh, he's arrogant.
It's just like Nicki Minaj. They keep on saying Nicki Minaj has more awards than Beyonce.
Okay, so
what?
Beyonce
Who cares about them those awards that she has? No one cares about those awards Nicki Minaj has, like all those VMAs, and don't no one care about those awards. So that's why Nicki Minaj ain't over Beyonce, because if that was the case about award, if it was just about how many awards, then Nicki Minaj would be up there, right? But no, she's not up there because no one cares about certain awards. So of course, the Grammys is a big deal when you're talking musically and when you talk about your name in certain places. Yes, it is. Whether you want to be like, oh, it's a white thing or not, it does not matter. Money don't.
So if
money
Beyonce
ain't white or black.
stays the most
Money ain't white or
decorated,
black.
if Beyonce stays the most decorated, but she just never gets album of the
Well,
year,
she's not the most decorated. She's
I
not
mean,
the
I'm
most
saying
decorated.
if she has the most Grammys out of everybody, and she stays with the most Grammys, and she just never gets album of the year, is that the problem, that she has never gotten album of the year?
Yeah. That like, if this is the part that I think is being missed. He specifically stated the math is not mathing. What he meant by that is, how do you win all of these other awards for all of these individual songs? Right? Like, you've won more awards for your individual songs that are on your albums than anybody else, but your album has never been album of the year. It doesn't make any sense, right? So like, if you look at, like, let's say Taylor Swift's album will win an album of the year. How come her songs weren't winning all those other categories? And
Exactly.
Album of the year. That's what he was saying, that the math is not math. And like, why am I winning all of these awards for all of these individual songs that are on my album? You're saying they're the best. So you're saying that this song right here that was on my Lemonade album was better than the song that was on Taylor Swift's album multiple times in all these other categories, but then when it got to album of the year, all of a sudden her album is better than mine. That's what he's saying. He's saying,
but you also have to consider the
math is not math.
But you have to consider the category. She's won for music video. She's won for performance, things like that.
Right.
So, I mean, those are kind of like different. Wouldn't that constitute different?
All of it still goes into album. You see what I'm saying? All of it is about the album. All of it.
It's like this. Would you?
But we like a Beyonce album every year. So is she supposed to win album of the year every year?
You said what?
We like a Beyonce album every year. Every year is Lemonade, Renaissance, whatever the case is.
4 times. So I mean, why can't
Beyonce
Beyonce
she won more than Beyonce? If that's the same argument, Beyonce still won more than everybody.
Yes, she won 4. She won 4 times album of the year, even though Beyonce was winning
4 album of the year in a row. In the last 4 years, yeah. Taylor Swift has a total of, I want to say, in total Grammys, maybe 13, 14 Grammys, including the 14th or the 13th is album of the year.
Album of the year in a row. Now y'all not come on. Now, y'all know that's some bullshit.
So no, well, my whole thing thing is this, right? This is my whole thing. For one thing,
Bitch ain't that cold.
This is my thing. I always err on the side of believe black people, right? I'm not gonna say that there's never any black people anywhere that they don't be like, this is about race or this is about whatever, or whatever, and it's not about that. It's like they just use it as a, you know what I'm saying, as a weapon. But what I'm saying is that I'm gonna err on the side of believing their experience. Because that's what we're always told. We're always told that we're being delusional, that we seeing something that's not, even though we know, you know what I'm saying? Like you say, when you keep going up for this review for your job, or like these little microaggressions, or like all of this stuff that be happening, just like you were saying, Miss Jovo, and you like, but it's like, it's so subtle and it's so innocuous that when you say something about it, people are like, you're crazy. You're just making that up. You're making this race when it has nothing to do with that. I'm sure we've all had experiences like that. So all I'm saying is I'm going to err on the side of believe black people. Like, if they say it's some bullshit in the game, I'm going to say it's some bullshit in the game. I don't think that anything in their past history tells me that they're just these entitled, oh my God, I got to do, like, I've never seen them publicly.
I feel like there's no way to satisfy. There's no way to satisfy people, because if she wins next year, then it's going to be, oh, they only gave it to her because Jay-Z said something.
But I think where you always, but I think where you also get messed up at too, she only played the snippet. He didn't only just allude to Beyonce. He pointed her out because, of course, that's his wife. So he was gonna say that. He was talking about the fact
he
that
made a lot of allegations.
He was talking about the fact that he felt like SZA should have won over Taylor Swift this year. So he was taking up for a lot of black artists. It wasn't just Beyonce. So it's not about like, oh, give her the award next year or whatever. Of course, because he said that and made that statement, I feel like if he was gonna make a statement, of course he's gonna call out his wife, but that wasn't even the core of what he was saying. He was taking up for everybody. He said he was talking about how when he set out the Grammys that time, when DMX had those 2 albums and didn't even get nominated.
Right, because he said he even said that he shouldn't have won one year.
Jay-Z won, but he set it out to boycott because DMX did not even get nominated because he felt DMX was snubbed from the 2 albums. And that's absolutely true. Like, how DMX didn't get in there? How DMX
all opinionated and
there?
subjective, then how are y'all saying it definitively like, oh, DMX should have got this, or
it's subjective because
it's
of
all
who's
subjective.
voting. It's subjective because of who's voting. So if the people that's voting, they don't have the certain, they need to have a certain criteria. But because
it's subjective, just
how do you know
because
they don't
this
have
is
the
the thing.
criteria though? Just because they don't like the music that
what's
we
the color
like,
of the
like,
voters?
I'm not.
Do you know who the voters are?
What?
Do you know who the voters
all
are?
black. Then we need to go to BET. If we're gonna be sitting up here saying, oh, they need to be more black, more inclusive, we need to go back to BET.
No, we're not just saying that we're not saying that it just needs to be more black. What I'm saying is it's the way that black art gets devalued anyway. Even though black art influences everything else, when it comes from a black person, it gets devalued, and there's nothing wrong with calling it
celebrated. Right.
Remember, I remember the Grammys. I remember
it's not owned by black people. I don't know why we keep saying that. BET is owned by black people.
Fair enough. Fair enough. But the BET awards are our awards, whatever. They don't even go to them.
No,
so you can't go to the white folks awards and then try and be like, where all the black people at?
BET
at the award show
is
that you don't
also
go
white
to.
folks awards.
At the one that you be skipping every year.
But what you said, but
hold on. But this is the point.
The whole point of being pigeonholed into being right. Like what I'm saying is that's just like me.
You cannot skip Black History Month.
But this is the point that she's making. This is the point she's making. Why do we think? But this is the point.
First of all,
this is the point.
That's not even black.
You know what I'm saying. If you're skipping the Black Award show, then you can't go to the White Award show.
Right.
Now you're missing my point.
Right. That's the point. That's the point. Why is the Grammys labeled a white award show? How did we just make that a white award show?
That's the reality.
No. Why did
come on now?
If it's everybody being nominated,
but it's not
how did it become a white award show?
It's really not everybody.
Do y'all know who the father of rock and roll was?
Elvis, goddamn it.
No. Get Chuck Berry. And what nationality is Chuck Berry?
Yeah, he's black.
A Negro.
He is not only just black. Chuck Berry is African American and Cherokee Indian. So let me take y'all down the Here Come the Old Jovo.
She's about to give us a black history lesson. Go ahead, Jovo.
The history.
Happy Black History Month.
I can't remember what movie it was, but the guy that played in the original Godfather, was it Marlon Brando, something like that? Yeah.
The original Godfather. How old you?
The original. It's my favorite movie. I've seen it like 64 times.
You're not talking about the one with Al Pacino?
No. Yes.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 3, but I'm talking about the first one. The one who played his father in the first one.
Okay.
There was a movie that he was in during the Oscars. I want to say it was in the late 60s, early 70s, that portrayed Native Americans. Well, to speak to Kennon's point, when he accepted his reward, he brought on to accept his reward a real life, like I want to say she was Cherokee Indian woman, to come on stage and accept the award with him. I think he got Best Supporting Actor or Best Actor or something like that. And I might be off, but y'all Google it when y'all get a chance. But people in the crowds, including the people who were on staff at the Oscars, were heckling him for bringing this woman on stage. And the point he was trying to make was, this is becoming more than just the Anglo-Saxon white community situation. Like we're inviting more people of color in movies. You know, by that time, Sidney Poitier had put out so many movies that were just phenomenal. Yeah, I think at that time maybe he had been nominated but hadn't won an Oscar or hadn't won this. I'm not sure. But he brought that lady on the stage to prove a point that, hey, like, y'all want to talk about these narratives, but y'all don't want to use Native Americans in the movie. Okay. Now, fast forward to 1989, 88 to the Grammys.
I'm 6 years old.
DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. They boycotted the Grammys just for this reason, because they knew the experience of the people who, you know, this whole, I guess the board or whoever comes up with these nominations and just wanted, you know, to you know, put them in this category or this box. Don't y'all understand that, like, people like MTV, VH1, that MTV, that when they first came on, Whitney Houston had the #1 song in the country and they refused to play her video on television. Why? They couldn't come out and say the real reason. And the real reason was this: because they black. That's not our music. That's not what we're used to. Same thing with DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince with their nomination. That's not our music. That's what we're not used to. So I get a little bit of what Jay-Z is saying. It's not only speaking to color, but it's also speaking to artistry. Because what y'all not going to do is blast TikTok on every station across the country, make all these songs popular on TikTok, but then come to the Grammys or the Oscars and then not give the artists their due. Like,
yeah,
seriously.
because
Like,
the Grammys is not a white show. We only call it a white
It's
award
supposed to be
because,
a show of
because
artistry.
We forget that
black
it's not like presidency. We're not voting. It's more so a lot like, you know, lobbying. You have to send care packages. Your agent has to petition for you to get on a nomination. It's not just as simple as, oh, we're plugging the numbers.
Politics. It's politics.
Exactly. So sitting up here talking about, oh, the numbers don't add up. You and I both know it ain't just about no damn numbers. It's about who's going to sit down with who
so
at
why do
dinner.
The artistry is not adding up. The artistry is not adding up. Hip hop has come too popular to them and they scared. Like, the majority of the music that's on TikTok, the majority of the music that is on social media, period, has some type of hip hop, R&B, or people of color, if you will, kind of influence. And listen, have y'all ever heard Adele sing? Do you know in places like London and England and Japan how big R&B is? Do you know how big it is over there? Do you know how humongous it is? But I'm not even talking about color. So I'm talking about playing out artistry. Like, rock and roll and country music are not in the head anymore.
But I'm also talking about how they automatically put Black artists into categories and genres that they don't even belong in just because they're Black. So you can't say that that has nothing to do with race. Like, a Black artist can make a pop song and they'll put it in R&B, even though it's not sonically an R&B song,
Which
right? But
goes
it's
back
if
to
the
my
person
statement
is
about
black.
politics.
Okay, but this is
But that don't make it right.
hold on, wait a minute. But this is
Okay, then start another award show. Ain't nobody watching them in the first place.
Another award show.
Ain't nobody watching the award shows
But
in
this
the
is what I
first
was about to
place.
ask you, Raven.
Nobody give a damn.
Why is it that
History
you want
is
to acknowledge
history.
everything else, but why can everything else be a factor, but race cannot be a factor? Like everything else can, but
I
race.
never said race was not a factor. I don't know why I never said that. It never came out.
Okay, so what I'm saying is what is the problem with calling out the racial aspect of it? Like, why do we give so much pushback to each other when we're? This is what I'm saying. It's like we do it to each other too. It's like we're so dismissive. Like, oh no, well we don't need to say that, and it's like why not? Like why? Why can't we say that? What's the problem?
Right.
Like,
No
I
black
never
person
said
should
nobody
be like
could
they
say
being
that
greedy.
either. I never said any of that.
How the
What
fuck is a
I
black
said
person being
was,
greedy?
you can't get
all
on
the
stage
pressure
at
we done
a
had, we being greedy.
predominantly white
Get
boys
the fuck
event.
out of here.
Nobody said that. Oh, I didn't say that.
No,
My
not
point
you. I'm
was,
just talking about the people that's been saying that they being greedy. Like you can't call a black person being greedy for thinking they supposed to get some shit that they deserve. Like that this greedy? Man, where our fucking 40 acres of mule at, goddamn? What the fuck?
now
shit?
we're conflating two different kind of issues.
Nah,
Art
fuck no,
again
it's the
is
same shit.
subjective.
It's the same shit.
Subjective. We cannot definitively say, "Oh, all our black artists deserve these awards." Just like I said
Not
about
all of them.
politics,
Just
it's
Beyonce.
their
We
ages.
just talking about Beyonce.
What? I said SZA earlier. Y'all was always talking about all these black folks. Whatever. My point
This
is,
year,
if their
Beyonce's
agents. Let
supposed
me
got
finish
that
my
shit.
statement. Let me finish my statement, please, Heels, please. My point is, both of y'all. God, leave both of y'all, please. I would take more, I don't know, credibility in what he said if they didn't like openly skip the black award show.
Black award show.
Fuck all
Okay, they
that
show up
shit.
at the NAACP award show. Whatever. If they showed up in droves to the NAACP awards,
Man, I
I'd
wouldn't
be like,
care if
okay,
they didn't motherfucking.
fair. No.
I wouldn't even care if they
Y'all
wasn't
don't
black.
even want to
Beyonce
support.
is
Y'all don't even
not.
want to support. They have been talking about Beyonce
Beyonce is
not
bigger
coming.
than a black artist.
They have been talking about
Like, don't we have
Beyonce
black
not.
like?
Jesus Christ. We have been talking about Beyonce not going to the BET Awards or whatever for a while. I remember making a joke about how she
Fuck
didn't
the
go because they said
BET
it was too.
Awards.
Jesus.
The
I
EBT
remember them.
Awards.
I remember them saying
Y'all
that,
want
making
Beyonce to go
jokes
to the
on
BET
Twitter.
Awards with Krishan Rock.
I don't
Y'all
care no
want
more. I'm
Beyonce to be
tired.
on the red carpet with Krishan Rock.
Right, goddamn. You know the BET Awards be getting ratchet as fuck, man.
Know your
roots.
roots.
Fucking got on the BET. Like,
No, look. I know some of y'all were born a little later than I was, but if it wasn't for platforms like BET, Destiny's Child video probably would have never get played.
Did you see what they had on their table at the Grammys? They had this good ass fruit. I saw that big ass fruit plate on that table at the Grammys. I was like, that looked like some good ass fucking fruit. They ain't got that big ass fruit plate on the table at BET Awards, do they? Hell, motherfucking dog. Did y'all see that shit? I was like, God damn, that fruit looked good than a motherfucker.
Who fault is that?
Whoever the fuck hosting the BET Awards, the whoever the fuck. Shit, I don't fucking know. I don't care. But hey, we want a fucking Grammy.
We blame it all on the Grammys.
Album of the year, and we that's what we want.
I get what you all are saying about the. Actually, Raven, go ahead. I want you to finish what you were trying to say. Don't interrupt y'all.
I'm not gonna say nothing. But after this, we gotta go to the next topic.
I've had it with the beehive. I'm tired. I'm tired of swatting the bees away. I'm tired. No, I'm just kidding. Beyonce is a very talented artist. I'm not taking that away from her. I don't know what the solution is for this scenario, considering all the history and whatnot. But yeah, that's all.
All right, y'all. We can move on. Personally, I think she's just entitled. Like, I'm so sick of it. But I'm hearing what y'all saying. I get the racial standpoint of it, but then I'm also just kind of like, if I were to put her up again, and I like Beyonce. I know, don't hate me, Beehive, but like, I personally don't. outside of race or whatever, I personally don't think Beyonce has an album that I think is worthy of album of the year.
What? You be listening
maybe,
to Beck.
Maybe Lemonade, but that's
You
really
be,
the only one.
You be listening to Beck from the beginning to the end. Album.
No,
You be listening to Adele album. Right. So if you don't like any of those artists, how can you
it's
compare?
not just about.
So who do you think has an album? Who would you choose?
My
for album of the year?
criteria is not based off of just whether I like the way it sounds. It's based off of originality. It's based off of sound. It's based off of like the message. But that's just me. That's just me. I ain't on the board. You know.
The thing is this. So, but Ashley, all of that, I agree with you. All that put into the album, like who wrote it, how many people wrote it, whatever the case be, and it made an awesome album. That doesn't take away from who album it is. So whether Beyonce had 100 writers on her album, that's still her album. That means she chose the right people to help her out. That's what composed of an album. Like I have the right producers.
About, like, artists of the year, I wouldn't have like for certain reasons I would not have nominated her for artist of the year. As far as album of the year, the number of writers doesn't matter as much. I agree with that.
But no, it do matter because guess what? Once you get album of the year, if you get album of the year, everybody that has something to do with that album gets credit. They can always use that on their resume. Like I wrote this song on this is part of the album of the year. So it's not just about Beyonce. Trust me, it's just not about Beyonce. It's about, like you said, everybody who has something to do with that album, that put their soul into that album, that helped her with that album that had all these number one hits. You know what I'm saying? All these number one hits. How come it's that album of the year then? If it has all these number one singles, that means it should be number one.
The Grammys will tell you that it's not based off of sales. So I think
that's why Jay said the metrics ain't right. By y'all own metrics, if I have seven number one, if I have 7 singles off an album and Taylor Swift has one single, how her album better than mine?
Because she got a better agent with a better PR package. Next topic.
So he should get agent of the year. That's the agent of the year.
Okay, then let that be the award. Okay, then petition for that. Petition for that, darling. God damn. Moving on.
No, we petition for what the award is. It's an album of the year.
It's like what I said. It's like what I said, what people were saying about Taraji, and when she was crying about how she pour her soul into her work. I think about people like Tina Turner, Janet Jackson,
she signed that contract. That's on her.
All these different people that have, I think about watching the Grammys growing up and just crossing, because Janet Jackson is my favorite of all time. Shout out to Janet. I will see you in July, boo. But anyway, I think about all these years I watched the Grammys and all the times I've been disappointed because I don't see people like me that win that album of the year. And I'm just telling Jay and B, hey, pull up this year in June to BET. You probably gonna win. I'm just saying, you ain't been home in a minute. Pull up, but it's a catch-22. Like it's like the Grammys need to catch up. The Oscars definitely need to catch up because the fabric of music is changing. Now you got to throw in Afro beats, Caribbean beats. Now you got to throw in all of these different cultures, all of this different technology, this AI stuff is coming out. Like all this different stuff has to be considered when you talk about best picture, best movie. What Flowers of the Killer Moon? That movie.
Miss Jovo, you breaking up?
But it was good. Like, look at I think it was the Golden Globe Award that was in. So the Oscars, the Golden Globes, and the Grammys need to wake up because this we white, this we white and we right. It's a thing of the past. I'm just saying, it's a thing of the past. And it ain't just about being black. It's just all over the planet. People are participating now in this one large contest. And you cannot ignore the fact that like look at how Afro beats hit the scene hard. if an Afrobeat artist does not win some type of award within, say, the next 4 or 5 years, I would be offended behind that. I'm just saying, if I was from places like South Africa or Ghana or somewhere like that, I would be offended. So I kind of get what he's saying on some level. It's not it's not just about the racial fabric, but it's also the artistry. It's not country music, pop and rock anymore that you just got to consider. It's a plethora of different genres out there that have to be considered if you're going to be a global, worldwide known award show. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, y'all. We got to move on. Okay. All right. This is going to be our last topic.
Last topic.
Yes, we definitely went over tonight. All right. So the question for this one is, what responsibilities does a girlfriend have of her boyfriend's children?
Mom, thank you so much for asking. Zero. Thank you so much for asking. I love that question. Very straightforward.
Zero. Your ass tripping.
So I thought of this question because of a post that I saw on Instagram. Okay. So a woman posted this about her boyfriend's baby's mother. So she said, baby mom is reaching out to her child's father's girlfriend for help. The girlfriend says that's not her responsibility. My thing is, can't nobody make a parent be a parent? The second post is what the girlfriend posted on her story on IG. So this is what the girlfriend posted. So let me show it to you guys. So basically, the baby mom reaches out to the girlfriend, the new girlfriend, and asks if her son can spend the night. And basically, the boyfriend tells the baby mom that you have to ask my girlfriend because it's her house, right? He's living in the house. It's her house. And so the baby mom is like, can my son come to your house? I know it's your house and your rules, blah, 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 blah. So I'm asking you woman to woman. And this is the girlfriend's response. She says, hey, yes, she can't stay here. Faith isn't my child, and I won't have responsibility over that or what you and Miles have going on. Have you spoken to his mother? Maybe she can watch Faith until you get there, until you get better. And so then the girlfriend gives a whole rant on Instagram. And this is what she says. She says, women, especially Black minority women, have always been set up to be the front line providers, even when we are not called to be or supposed to be at that moment. Especially with kids, it's been pushed in our heads to take in other people's kids, raise kids that aren't yours, become a stepmama with no true commitment to a man. Example, marriage. If you date a man with kids or kids, it's a package deal, which is absolutely not true, nor a fact. Nothing's a package until you are married. Most of us have been brainwashed with what society shows. It's very sad that we think this way because it always becomes a long and hard burden on the woman. But as women, we are set up to be so strong and take it all. As for me, I will not, it may seem harsh, but I am currently in my selfish state because I work hard for it. I will travel. I will enjoy life. And then she says,
hey,
darn ready. And then she says, basically, she talks about she'll enjoy her life even when dating someone who has a child. It's not my responsibility. It's that simple. Once we as women put our foot down and stop taking extra burdens, possible harm, etc., we will all be in a better place. What do y'all think?
I think she is absolutely correct. That man need his own damn house. Get off that lady's sofa, stop living in that lady crib, and you wouldn't have this issue. But because she is taking care of a grown man, or he's staying with her, whatever the case is, she got every right to put her foot down. I might not even like your kids. Quiet as kept. Your kids could be bad as hell. No, I don't want them over my house. I don't even plan on dating you more than 3 more months. I'm sorry. I ain't broke it to you yet, but you're gonna get dropped off when the summer hit. Like I don't I'm not gonna be no. I'm also in my I'm also in my selfish girl era. I won't be taking care of your children. I'm so sorry. It's not gonna happen. Not even a little bit. No, we can't even have no movie
Don't
night.
move a
No.
motherfucker in your house then.
I
This
just
is
said
the
she shouldn't
delusional
have.
shit
I
that I be
just
talking
said
about.
she shouldn't have. I started this
Well,
with he
that's
knees on
when
the
the
spot. I
listen, you
started
can't
this
play
with he
house
knees on
and
the
then
spot.
don't want to play house.
Yes,
Yes,
you
you
can
can.
every day of the week.
I
What are you
mean,
talking
yeah,
about?
you can, but don't
You
act,
be
don't
gonna
act,
Look,
don't
lie
act
look
like
at him.
somebody
Look
else.
at him. We
Hold
don't even know
on,
what he's talking about. He just want women to work for free.
you can't you. My thing is this. It's cool, yeah. You have you can do what you want to do. This your house, this and that, but you kind of confused. You kind of and you confusing
Because he
everybody
won't take
else,
care of his kids for
and
free.
you
That's
confusing
your
everybody
convenience.
else too. So don't be looking crazy when everybody else thinking you supposed to be doing some stuff when you're actually doing certain shit that you act like you're bigger than. You're already taking care of a dude. You already moved into your house, and
Exactly.
then
Don't add nothing to it.
hold on, time out. You know he had kids,
Don't
right?
add nothing
You
else
know he
to
had
it.
kids.
You already messed up thinking that man let you stay
What
at your
what
house. You already messed up.
exactly? You already messed up.
Don't add nothing
Okay,
else to
cool.
it.
We're gonna start right there. You already messed up. So the only way you can unmess up is if
It's
you
kick
put
him
this
out.
nigga is this break up with this nigga when he say my kids is coming over. That's the only logical thing. It's over. Don't sit up here and say your kids can't come over. Is you still gonna be with this man? Like that's retarded.
But she can do that because she did it.
What's
She
more
can make
retarded
it
if
50
the man
kids.
got kids and no house.
But no.
Let's stay on the retarded. I don't even like
Is
the
she
word
still?
retarded.
My
What's
thing is this. I
crazy
don't know
is he
enough
got
information.
kids
One at
and
a
no
time,
house.
y'all. One at a
He ain't got
time.
nowhere to
But
stay.
is she
That's the
about to
issue.
stay?
He ain't got nowhere to
Is
stay.
she about to stay with this man with this just coming to her, right? To the forefront. She gonna still stay with this man knowing that this man kids needs help, right?
He gonna still stay with her, knowing his kids
No,
need
Thank
okay,
help.
you.
that's cool. We
Knowing he
ain't
ain't
talking
got
about her
nowhere to
now.
stay,
Who we
knowing he
talking about
laid
right
up
now?
on her
Hold on.
sofa.
His
We
kids
talking
though.
about
No,
his
time
kids.
out.
We talking
We can
about
get
his
to him.
kids,
We
not
can get
her
to him.
kids.
We can
His
get to him,
kids.
but we talking about her right now, right?
We
We
talking
talking
about
about her
his
right now.
kids. We
All
talking
right.
about his
So
kids.
boom, we already know he fucked up. We already know that. Now we about to talk about her because that's what we talking about. So you have a man that you suppose you got staying with you, but for whatever reason you don't know if you gonna be with him for the next 3 months. So that's stupid. This. Listen, like
Maybe
ladies.
she doing as much of a favor as she want to do.
A favor, a favor, a favor.
Maybe she barely want
Get
him
your
staying
own
there.
Oh, now
spot.
it's a
Get your own
favor, huh?
spot. Get your
You
own
use the
spot.
word
Yes,
favor?
we're doing you a favor.
You
If you're
gonna use the
staying in her
word
house,
favor?
Oh, Lord.
yes.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Okay. She
Yes.
doing me a favor.
Not the ego bruise. Not that ego
Hold
bruise.
on,
That
we ain't
ego
even got
is
enough. We ain't even
shattered.
got enough
That
context
ego
to
is
be talking about something
destroyed.
about favor because I don't know
Well,
if
you
he
just-
did
I
a
have
good
enough
We
job
don't need
context.
or if he just
context. He
moved.
ain't got nowhere to stay.
We don't
Need
know if he ain't
context.
got
He
nowhere
I
to
have
stay.
enough
Hold on, time
context.
out.
Well,
I
why
ain't hear
she
none of this shit.
asking?
I didn't hear
Why
none of
she
this shit.
asking?
I didn't hear
Why
none of
she
this
asking the
shit.
woman?
I didn't hear none of this shit. That he ain't got no place to
Oh,
stay. I didn't
he
hear
got
that
a
he ain't
6
paying
bedroom
no
house. That's
bills.
what it is.
All I hear was that this is her house. So if he moved in, that maybe he had a house and they both had a house. I don't know all of
Oh,
this.
oh,
Supposedly,
hypothetical situations now.
supposedly,
All of it's
And he
hypothetical.
actually hit the lottery last week. Actually, the same dude hit the lottery last week and is rolling around on a Rolls Royce, and the bitch just
I
a
didn't say
bitter
all
old
that.
bitch.
All I'm
That's
saying
really all
is
it is.
he was
We don't
living
know anything
somewhere.
though, darling. That could really be true, but we don't know nothing. We don't know
Okay,
nothing about
but we
nothing.
do know this. We do know she's living with a man who she don't
No,
even
we
know
know
she gonna be.
he's
We
living.
know
We
how.
know
Hold on. See this how I
he's
gotta break it down
living.
now. We know how dumb she is. We don't know how
He
dumb
is.
he is yet. But we know how dumb she is to be living with a man that she don't even know if she want to be with the next 3 months. We do know this
We
though,
don't.
right?
That's hypothetical though. We don't even
No,
know if that's
this
true.
was
I just
said.
threw that out. I just threw that out. She never
This
said that.
was said. She
That was
don't know.
not what was said.
I'm with a man. I don't even know if I'm about to be with him. I'm about to take care of the kids. So she's with a man that she don't even like that, but got this nigga living in her house, right? No, he got kids. So now she's okay with this nigga not even stepping up to the plate to take care of his kids. And she's
I
going to
just want to
aid
say
in that.
men will
She's
say
going to
anything
aid
they
in
gotta
that.
say to make sure you take care of their kids.
Hey,
They gonna say anything they
y'all
gotta
know
say.
I'm with y'all ladies all
Anything
the
they
time.
gotta say.
But we gotta
Why is
call a
she?
spade a spade. We
Why
gotta
is
call
Why
a
is
she
she
spade a
dating
spade.
responsible
this
for some
man?
random man kids?
Why
Random
is
man?
she?
Why
Can
she
we?
got a
Can we?
random man live in a house.
Can we go in her inbox and
care of
say,
kids.
hey,
Put 'em
can we
out.
go in her
This is
inbox and
crazy.
say, hey,
So
we're the
put 'em
Ladies
out.
Room podcast.
This is crazy.
We,
Why you
we
got a random
need you to
man
come
living in your
in and
house?
tell us why.
Right, put him out. Don't take his kids in.
Why are you dating
Yes,
this
put him
man?
out.
Why are you
I
dating
agree with
this
you.
man?
It's over. Only solution to this is, guess what? It's over, buddy.
That's not the only solution. You keep saying
Exactly.
that,
You
but
could
you
just
picked
get your
another
own house.
solution.
No,
Exactly. If I can't moosh off of you, we can't be together. Period. If I can't
How
sing
would-
your shit, we
how the
can't be
fuck-
together. If I got to get my
Listen.
own house, we can't be together, shorty.
Ashley,
Sorry, that's
we
too
need
much.
the
We
show
can't do
on
that.
how to date desperately because somebody did not show her how to do it. She's
Yeah.
doing it all wrong. 1 star, do not recommend. Why are you dating this man and then move this man in your house knowing he has a child? Girl, what you doing?
If you not
And
ready
then
for that
got the nerve to say
responsibility,
you in your
don't
selfish
take on
phase.
that responsibility.
If you were in your selfish phase, why would you move another individual in your house in the first place if you're in your selfish phase?
What if he ain't even really saying
it ain't
Maybe she
only
wasn't. Hold
the
on, babe.
men.
What you say?
Hold
Maybe she
on.
wasn't.
It ain't
Maybe she
only
wasn't.
the men.
Exactly.
It ain't only the men who tell
Exactly.
on
That
themselves.
motion in the ocean.
It ain't only the men who tell on themselves. If you're supposed to be in your
Thank
selfish
you.
phase, why are you moving another individual in your house and you're just dating this person? Because if I'm in my selfish phase, I need my space. I don't need you living with me. That's what. See, that's what I'm
Right. So
saying.
what's wrong with
They're
her saying
telling
she
on
get her space
themselves.
from his kids too?
No.
She needs space from his kids too. I can't get no more space.
No. She don't need
So you
space.
like
because
niggas who
she-
don't take care of their kids? Okay.
She don't need
What?
space
That's
because if
hurt.
she needed space, she would not move this man in her house.
I agree, Miss Jovo, but I
Like,
don't think
don't-
taking
don't-
on
don't
more of
be-
his
Don't be coming
responsibilities
on IG talking about
solves the
I'm in my
problem.
selfish phase all of a sudden because now this man got a child. You knew this man had a child when y'all were dating, and he knew
So
you had.
what if she
knew
says she
he had
don't
a
want to do
child.
none of that? What if
Well,
she
here's
said
my
when
thing. Here's my thing.
This is why people should not date and live together. It is redundant. It is like setting a trap. Like date, court, engagement, marriage.
Right.
But Jovo, because people think only way to a commitment is by getting married. Like only way we committed is if we married. No, what the
Or
fuck?
even
No.
if marriage not your thing, maybe you'll decide to get exclusive. But don't be sitting up here talking about you and your selfish. Like they be really killing me with these terms. I'm in my selfish phase, or I'm in my soft phase. What the hell is that? Like my thing is, if you selfish, why are you moving another person in your house?
She
Why
said we
are
ain't
you moving
married. I'm not about to
Because
go
she
out
wants-
there. She said
because
she
she
don't
wants
want
okay.
because
If
she
they
wants
only
the
been dating
on-demand
3
D.
months,
Why is that so
if they
hard
only been
to
dating 3
understand?
months, how I gotta take care of your kids already?
You
If we
can
only
have
dating 5
on-demand
months.
D. You can have on-demand D if he got his own 1-bedroom apartment. Like I don't understand the logic
What if he
behind
got
this.
nowhere to stay and he was like, "Let me just
That's
sleep on your sofa real
It's not
quick"?
your problem.
No,
if your only
I'm not
goal
trying to-
is the D, if your only goal is the D, then
Don't move
that's
him
your
in.
goal. Like why
She
are
should
all
put
these
him out.
why are all these other
No,
circumstances matter?
we not
Why
about
they
to
all
do that.
matter?
Put him out.
We can't, ladies. We cannot do that because if a man is living with a woman and she got kids, guess what? That's his responsibility. So we're not about to sit up here
Because her kids live at her house.
It don't
Yes,
matter.
it matters. It does matter.
It don't matter
It
if the
matters.
kids don't even live there. If you living with a woman and she got kids and they don't live with her, you know she has kids. So therefore, you know you at some point you're going to have to deal with those kids, whether it's they live with you or we gotta share out some money for some shoes or some clothes or whatever the case may be. You know you have to deal with these kids at some point. So don't sit up here and say, "Oh, nah, this ain't happening now," because you don't want to deal with it, or just be like, "I don't want this relationship." I will respect that. I will respect that more than just being like, "Oh, nah, your kid can't move it." Just break out the motherfucking end.
How is this any different than a woman
Because
asking
you're
her
a bad person
boyfriend?
now. This kid needs a place to live.
How is this any different than a woman asking a man she's dating for money for her children's shoes, and he say, "Go ask your baby daddy"? How is this any different? This is the same concept.
But it doesn't matter if it's the same concept. It's still wrong as hell. Like I don't understand people. Like I don't understand people literally. Like this girl literally wrote that I'm in a part in my life where I'm thinking about me, but you got a whole nother person living in your house. Same thing with these dudes that be talking about I'm working on being a better man, but then
you ain't trying to put them out.
When you knock on their front door, somebody answering the door, not hardly wearing any clothes.
He should go back to his baby mama.
People full of shit.
Exactly.
People full of shit talking about they dating. You ain't dating, baby. You sleeping with somebody. That's what you're doing. And when I'm telling you, I'm telling you from the old school man frame of mind, you can sleep with somebody and get the D without them living with you. See, this new generation, y'all doing it all wrong. They really think they pimping and they not. They not.
Now that
because
I agree.
If
I don't
it's,
think they
if
know.
it's just the D and the sex, why we got to live together? Why you got to be on the couch?
Yeah. I don't think I don't think that understanding has been set.
That's why.
And y'all know what my favorite word is. Y'all know what I'm gonna say. I say it every week. I say it every week. You know what I'm finna say? A lack of boundaries. If your relationship is purely sexual, I don't care what type of relationship you got. If you don't establish boundaries in the beginning, this the type of bullshit that happens right here.
You want that in
now? This man got his tucking his tail in between his legs because oh my God, I'm not with someone who loves my kids. You knew this about her when you asked her out on the first date. Please stop it.
I think if you're going to be with a man that has kids or a woman that has kids, you have to be willing to accept what comes with it. You're not obligated to do a lot of things, but if you move a man into your house for an extended period of time, to me, it's a little mean to just be like, your kids can come over. It's not fair to the kids. And I mean, it's kind of shady to the man. I get what you're saying. Nobody has to do anything. She doesn't have to do anything. But I don't think that is wise or mature to be like, oh, I'm going to move this man into my house. I want him as my man, but his kids can't come over.
That's all I'm saying.
For me,
Let me tell
I
you
think
something.
that's kind of whack. But I also think women have to be realistic, decide whether or not you want to be with a man that has kids. And then if you don't, and you just want to do what Raven said, have a little fling, then you have your little fling. Don't move them into your house because that takes it to a whole different level.
And to the question,
let me tell you something. Hold on, babe.
Okay.
I respect it, and this is the reason why I respect it, right? Just because she made the decision, the poor decision, the whatever decision to move him in, all of that other stuff, I do not think that automatically translates to she needs to take on a child that she does not feel she is capable of doing. I think that that's what messes kids up worse all the time, because people get put into situations where children are put on them and they feel like in order to look a certain way or not be the bad guy or do whatever, they'll take on these kids and they mistreating the kids. I appreciate somebody who can step forward and be like, oh no, I ain't doing that. This is where I draw the line. Okay, maybe I did this, but it ain't gonna railroad me all over here. Said that since I did this, now I have to also do this. Nah, ain't in no right frame of mind to be doing it. I ain't even finna play stepmama. I ain't even finna play with it, right? Now, whether or not she had enough forethought to think about that beforehand, that she should have just knew that she was gonna be in the situation, she was gonna be playing stuff, whatever. The fact of the matter is she got into a situation with this child that she obviously don't give a shit about. And I'm glad that she was able to step forward and say, I don't give a shit, instead of just being like,
no. So you're right.
Because I did this, so I'm gonna look stupid if I don't take the child and then mistreating the child or whatever.
So
like
you're right.
Everybody don't need to have no kids around.
Hold on. The thing is this. You're right.
Something.
We're not saying I'm not saying she's wrong. All I'm saying is moving forward, how the hell do you expect to live with a man that you know is not taking care of his kids? Like, what type of woman are you to have a man?
A selfish woman.
Okay, cool. That's cool. So understand, moving forward, shit is about to be fucked up. And the best thing for you to do is to remove yourself, is to remove that man from you. That energy that you don't want, you're about to get. Because either way, you're going to be either getting that energy from taking care of these kids or getting that energy from not taking care of these kids. You're about to get this energy. So you don't need to be with a man with kids if you're in your self-esteem.
I like what Cameron said, that there are mind games that go along with it. We don't know how long this man been staying with her. He could have had an apartment, lost it, and he said, I just need 2 months to stay on your couch. And her limit could be, okay, you only need to stay on my couch.
You just said we ain't talking about hypotheticals. So don't talk about this. You don't like this camera shit. You just said we don't like hypotheticals. Okay, so fuck what all you talking about.
Oh, okay. Anyway,
yeah, we ain't talking about hypotheticals. We ain't talking about hypotheticals. Remember, we ain't talking about hypotheticals.
Your whole scenario was based on hypotheticals.
No,
What are you talking about? The whole speech you just gave was based on hypothetical.
No. I said moving forward, if she wants to be selfish and she's going to get this energy, she's either going to be a selfish person. No,
We don't know that for a fact.
That's
That's
real.
hypothetical.
No, she said she don't want the kid to come there. That's what the letter said. She don't want the kid to come there. The kid ain't coming, right?
Anyway,
so the dude is about to be a deadbeat father, because guess what? Everybody in the world is gonna label him a deadbeat father, because guess what?
Thank you so much.
He's not about to
My
go get his
point
own
is-
apartment and get his kids.
Jesus Christ. Okay, my thing is, it's always, again, now our responsibility. We have yet to talk about why this grown man got kids and they got nowhere for these kids to stay.
No.
While you
First thing
asking
I
some
said
woman,
was he fucked up.
Jesus Christ. Okay. We still talking about, what kind of woman dates a man that don't take care of his kids? Whatever the case is, we don't even know about their dating scenario. She set a boundary, and I agree with her. We don't know how long they plan on dating. We don't know if they on good terms.
Boundaries.
We don't know any. Exactly. Now we gotta do free labor for other folks because you broke up your family. Like, what the fuck?
She got boundaries.
You broke. I mean, come on now. If you cared about your family so much, you would have a place for them to stay, or you would be with your baby mama. But neither of those are happening. So I'm not going to take on responsibility when you fucked your family up. You didn't even have nowhere for your kids to be at. Now I got to take on that responsibility? Absolutely not. The fact that it's now the woman's fault speaks volumes, I think, because the conversation is not about the man. It's between two different women.
Nobody's fault.
We already established that the man is fucked up. We see that was in the dope. The man fucked up. He ain't got his own shit. But that was already established. We already established that, didn't we? The man don't have his own shit. He don't have a leg to stand on, obviously, because he ain't calling no shots, obviously.
That's what my point is. The conversation is still between two separate women.
So now we have to
we haven't even discussed the father in the scenario. We literally talking about what two women need to be doing.
We already established that he fucked up.
The daddy. It's still about what women need to be doing. Women still got to be doing.
On accordance that he fucked up.
Where his daddy at? Where the granddaddy at? Where the uncles at? Why it's all on the women?
We already established that he's fucked up. We ain't got to discuss it no more.
I think what Raven is saying is that we don't need to blow past that part, Darwin, like we normally do.
Because she's asking, didn't she ask him about his mother, not his dad?
He ain't got no business dating nobody right now. He ain't got no business dating nobody.
He fucked up.
Thank you.
He needs to be by his fucking self. We know this.
But to my point,
what's already known don't need to be talked about.
Let me get my point off.
Hold on, let us speak, Darwin. Let us
the baby mama. We're asking the baby mama. We're asking the girlfriend and the grandmother. Three separate women, without discussing a daddy, an uncle, a cook. No men are involved. We're literally, all this onus is put on three separate women. This man ain't got nowhere for his kids to stay, but three separate women need to come up with a solution for this grown ass.
That's her dumb ass.
That's exactly. Here we go. No responsibility on this man. Exactly. Here we go. Still more for women to do. More our responsibility. Nothing about women. Nothing.
Why she can't just leave this nigga?
Exactly.
What is the problem right now? Why she just can't get rid of this nigga?
My point.
Her selfishness gonna lead her into a life of misery. Her selfishness gonna lead her to a life of misery.
But Darwin, to Raven's point, this man is not like a feeble child who don't have any responsibility.
They infantilize men all the time.
I'm not taking up for this man. I said this man is fucked up. But now, okay, once you know somebody is fucked up, what you gonna do? You gonna be like, now you gonna try to use that as an excuse for you to do fucked up shit? No, it's time for you to get rid of this nigga. Point fucking blank.
You can make the same argument for the daddy. He knows she fucked up. Why don't he leave her? You're literally putting the onus on the baby mama.
Because he fucked up. That's why he ain't leaving. Duh, he fucked up. He's not about to leave somebody who's taking care of him. Is you serious? Come on now.
So again, my point is still all on black women. The responsibility is on the mother, the baby, the girlfriend, and the grandmother.
If you just want to stay with a nigga
that's fucked up, is still about.
If a woman,
that's not what she's saying.
That's not what I'm saying, Ms. Jovo. He just want to get an attitude.
What she's saying is that, and when you take out the baby mama and the other extended family, when you just leave the equation at the girlfriend, the dude on the couch, and the child. Between all of them, who is responsible for the child? It's the boyfriend.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? So he holds the responsibility when it comes to parenting. Now that I do agree with.
Yes,
but
I do too.
But I'm gonna stick to what I said in the beginning. People gotta stop talking about like if it's just about the D, if y'all are in a purely physical relationship, set some boundaries in the beginning. When all of this rigmarole domestic stuff come into play, like go ahead and say, look, it looks like our relationship is in another context or in another place that we didn't talk about in the beginning. And I think we need to really sit down and think about if we want to go to this next level. People need to do that, especially Black people. We always assuming shit. Like what y'all do in them sheets. That is not the end all to be all.
So my thing
in terms of what your relationship is like. I don't care how good the D is, and I don't care how wet the P is. Okay,
exactly.
That ain't got nothing to do with it. Like you gotta have a conversation as adults. Sex is sex.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about values then, because this is the thing. Would I allow a rapist to live with me? No, I know the fuck I wouldn't.
Everybody has different values, so please don't put your values on other people.
Let's talk about her fucking values then.
Oh, now we're gonna talk about the woman still. Let's keep talking about women, guys. You're right. Let's keep talking about.
She's going to allow
a man.
She's going to allow a man that can't provide for his kids.
Darwin.
Oh, now it's still the women's fault. It's still the woman's fault. Exactly.
She's not allowing.
They're children. They children. This is crazy.
Darwin, the only thing this woman
I
needs to do now is put this man out her house. What this man do after that? This ain't got nothing to do with this woman. That's it. Like this dude is a crappy father. For him to get in a situation where he's literally living in an environment where his child can't even come if they need to come, that says more about him as a father and less about the woman.
Ladies, I understand everything y'all saying.
Okay, tell me what you understand. Hold on. Tell me what you understand with what I just said. Tell me what you understand. Tell me what you understand.
Everything y'all said.
I didn't say agree.
Exactly. Thank you, Ms. Jovo.
About you said you understood. Tell me what you understood.
I understand
tell me what you understood.
That this man cannot provide. He's in a messed up position. He's dependent on her to help him out, right? Cool. Whatever the case may be.
It's not
That's
cool.
what it is.
No,
it's not cool.
Thank you.
But
you see how you just dismissed it? Okay,
that's
whatever.
Him. That's him.
It's
That's him, right?
It's not cool.
That's him, right? But guess what? She's the other part of that, right? Because she got
no. She not. We skipping over the fact that he is a poor, piss poor baby father. Because how you
He already just said that. He's fucked up.
Darwin,
why y'all keep what's going on right now?
That, and then you want to talk about how she need to put him out. The thing about it is that no.
She can keep him. Hey, I don't give a fuck.
I didn't say she needed to keep him. What Raven was speaking to,
put him out, she don't need to keep him. What she's speaking to is
the fact that if you are a parent, I don't care if you're the mother or father, and you're residing in an environment where you can't even bring your child, if your child is sick, needs shelter, if you can't even provide the basic needs for your child, no matter where you living at, whether you the mama or the father, you a piss poor parent. That's what you are. Hey, and then hold on. And then the other part that's wrong with this scenario, again, like I said in the beginning, is that okay, if y'all gonna be, here I'm telling my age again, if y'all gonna be cut friends, if y'all gonna be situations, if y'all just gonna have sex, please sit down and have a discussion about it. This is gonna be the nature.
Hope she don't get pregnant.
Have a discussion about the boundaries in your relationship. Please do not assume that once y'all make love,
this is crazy.
Or y'all
don't want to break up with the nigga,
or he hit you with a Love Jones scenario where he waking up in the morning, cooking you omelets and stuff. Do not be fooled. Do not be mocked. This does not mean this is your man, boo. This means y'all knocking boots.
Okay, Ms. Jovo,
y'all want more, have a conversation.
What advice would you give to this young lady, Ms. Jovo?
I just gave my advice. Sit down.
This poor father. What advice would you give to his father?
No. Because I like to look at all points. Now, maybe like the wife put in the comments, maybe she like the D to be there. I don't know. But she need to understand that if it's just going to be about the D.
She values digging. She values digging. Okay, cool. That's cool.
Don't say, hey, don't say that like men don't just value the crotch now. Don't do that. Like, don't say it like
didn't say that like that. I just said
like, yes, you did. You did, but you're raised to say it that way. Okay.
I wasn't saying like that.
If
All
your
I'm saying is,
He really trying it in the ladies' room tonight. He trying it real
the,
hard.
the,
This
the
is
advice
ladies'
I would
room.
give him
is purely.
She
If your
asked me the advice
relationship
I would give
purely
him.
physical, have the conversation.
If it's purely
because I
physical,
used
why
to
the
think like
motherfucker
you,
living with
Darwin.
her? It ain't purely physical, obviously. So it's some other shit going on. But okay,
Cameron, how old are you, Cameron? Because
okay,
I'm
but
old.
my advice
Cut
to him
friends is a long
is,
term.
dude.
But that's what I'm
how about-
saying.
is there
Let it
anybody that
be.
you close to that you can go live with? Because you definitely do not need to be shacking up with her, especially with kids. You need to go get yourself together. I don't know what type of job you have, but if you can't go get your own place and get your custody of your kids or provide a place to live with your kids, because obviously she don't want them to live there.
I mean, if it was up to
you
me,
need to leave her. Point blank.
If
she's not
if it
for
was-
you, she's
okay.
She's not what you need.
If it was
Boogie,
if it
boogie,
was
boo.
up to
Who gives a
me,
fuck?
if it was up to me, all
it ain't
men,
about who cares. It ain't about
wait.
showing somebody up. It's about your kids need a place to stay. You need to go provide one. And that obviously ain't with her, so you need to leave her. It ain't about she's better or he's better. It's about what's needed right now. I'm not saying he's better than her or she's better than him, but obviously this shit ain't working.
If it was up to me, if you are a baby daddy and you are not capable of taking care of the kids that you have now, I would do you just like they used to try to do women back in the day. Hey, here's some condoms, buddy, and then if you can't use these, we just gonna sterilize you. You don't need no more kids because you don't know how to take care of them.
We ain't talking about the kids he can possibly have. We talking about the kids he got now. He got kids out here. And fuck sterilizing. He got
Current
kids
behavior is a clear indication for future behavior, especially if the
we
current
ain't talking
behavior
about
is
no
not
kids
changing.
that ain't here. He got kids that's on the street right now. What we gonna do about these kids right now?
Ask his daddy. Where his daddy at? Where his granddaddy at?
They're not on the
You
street.
talking about giving him condoms and shit on the street? What the condoms gonna do for them kids on the street? He need to go get his ass a job and get a place and get his shit together. And he don't need to be worried about her. He need to get, you know what I'm saying? That's what my advice for him. Don't worry about her. She don't want to have nothing to do with you and your kids. So you need to go find a place and a job that you can take care of your kids. Point blank. That's my advice to him. Now, what's your advice to her?
I think they should both start sleeping together for one thing. Before she end up getting pregnant. Hopefully she's one of these women
they breaking up.
Shout out to women who wear condoms and use protection. You're smart. Don't let nobody else tell you otherwise. But I just think again, if they gonna continue to sleep together, the context of their relationship needs to be defined. Okay. I mean, if I was in her situation, I would clearly have a conversation with this man and say, hey, I thought we was just kicking it. What is this about you trying to make me a makeshift stepmother?
What if she did have that conversation and that's why he told the baby mama that?
That's your
What if
advice
that's
to
why he
make
told
this
the
shit
baby
work.
mama?
Fuck Miss Joe and Mo. Get the fuck rid of him.
Darwin, let's just be real.
Get rid of this
Darwin,
nigga.
let's just be
Go
real.
get some
Let's
older
just be
dick that
real.
ain't got kids.
The reason why they in this situation in the first place is because no one really communicates like they supposed to in relationships anymore. People use sex as a way almost to, because I know I used to be one of the naive folks. I thought that, they must really be into me. And it was like, hey, country girl, slap out of it. These men out here putting their dingaling in everything. Like, just because they put it in you don't mean, or they try to put it in you don't mean that you special. Okay? Just like my grandmother used to tell me. Look,
you would advise this woman to leave him alone?
I didn't say that.
I'm asking you. Shit.
What I'm saying is they need to sit down and have a conversation.
Sit down.
They need to have a conversation
about
that never
what, Ms.
was
Jovo?
there in the first
She
place.
just said she ain't want this nigga kids in her house. What conversation do you think they could possibly be having?
That's literally
because
not
if a
what she
woman
said.
told me some shit like
That's
that,
not what she said either. She said they're not my responsibility. She cannot spend the night. That don't mean we can't go to the movies or we can't go skating.
what is you talking about?
We can't
what
spend the night.
the movies? Raven, what? These kids need a place to stay. Okay,
he need to call his daddy.
All
He
right,
need to call his
let's
daddy.
just shut
Thanks
this
for saying
down.
that.
We got to move on. We've been at it for almost 2.5 hours.
She need to leave this thing alone.
That was a good one.
See, more for women, less for men.
What's so hard with leaving the nigga alone?
What's so hard with him leaving her alone?
We just ready to eat and go.
I said he needs to leave her alone. I said the same thing for him that I said for her.
He needs to his daddy help him take care of his
I said the same thing for him that I said for her. Didn't I? I said you need to leave her alone. Go get a job. Go get a place for your kids.
That's because he needs to put that yak down. That's what's going on right now.
No.
All right, y'all.
I
All right,
said
we
the
cut.
same thing for him that I said for her. He needs to
That's the
leave
problem.
her alone.
Wait,
Go get a job and a
laughing
place
at
for
the
his
meme
kids.
Ashley put up from one of my favorite movies.
Yeah, because Ashley's definitely the one eating grits right now.
We just ready for y'all to we just mad at it.
Hey, Cannon, the dude over there eating the breakfast, just sitting still. Because she know how her husband is.
Hey.
She already know Darwin, so she over there like, it's Tuesday.
Hey, no, because that's the very
gonna
thing
let it go, guys.
that
I
gets
think it's
no.
the
That's
yak,
the very
Cannon. I think you're
thing
right. It's
that
that
gets a
yak.
lot of women in trouble. We just talked about this last week. Staying in
Why do you think we
relationships
give a damn?
too
Who are
long.
women in trouble
We
with?
just
Who are
talked
women
about
in
this
trouble
shit.
with? Who are
We
women
just
in
talked
trouble
about
with?
this shit.
Who are women
Staying
in
in
trouble with?
relationships too long, right?
Who are women
She's
in
gonna
trouble with? He said
continue
this
to
would get
stay
women
with
in
this
trouble.
nigga
With who?
and try to work
With
some shit out with
who?
this dude.
With what authority? In
All
whose
right.
world
Hey,
are you getting a
wait,
woman in trouble?
Hey, she can talk. Hey,
Who
she can
the
sit down and have
Wait,
all
I
the
have a
conversations.
request.
I
Please
cannot.
show the
Hey, she
meme
can
one
sit
more
down and have
time.
all the conversations she
I
want
don't
with this
get.
nigga.
I don't get in trouble. I'm an adult. I
Please
don't
show
get
the
in
meme
trouble.
one more time. Let's see Cannon
Talking about
reaction
get
as her
in
husband
trouble.
speaks.
Get
Hey,
these
no,
nuts.
Joe, you said
Get these
she needs to
nuts.
sit down and have dude. How that conversation is about to go? Yeah.
All right,
Fuck
y'all.
your,
We gonna do
fuck your
Shannon's
kids.
last word.
Fuck your kids. They ain't coming
Exactly.
over here, nigga.
Fuck the kids.
We
Fuck
gonna
them.
do
Fuck
Shannon's
them.
last word. Y'all tripping. Y'all tripping.
Fuck them kids. They not coming
Right.
over here, nigga.
Exactly. Fuck the kids.
All right.
Fuck them. Fuck them.
Oh my god.
All right. Who wants to go first?
Oh shit.
I'll go first today.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
Can I go first? Go ahead.
Yeah,
No, go Cannon. Go.
No, you can go. Go ahead.
You sure? Okay.
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, I'll go. Okay, hello. Yes. Hello. Famous last words. People you date are not your social workers. Okay? They are not here to like literally like save you from yourself. Like that's not their job. Like if you're dating someone and you have kids, this is a conversation you need to have early on, and expectations and guidelines need to be lined out. Okay. The other thing that I want to say in terms of Black Men United or whoever he is that, you know, men, they walk. They don't do a lot of talking because they're too busy walking. Okay. So and shout out to Cannon, who we really be like, what is Darwin talking about? And Cannon's like, what are y'all talking about? It's Wednesday. I love it. You gotta see the movie.
Y'all are fun. All right, Cannon.
Yes. My famous last words are if your neighbor needs some help from you, just help your neighbor. Don't start asking them about their relationship status and all of that. It's just weird. It's just weird. Good night.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. All right. So now we got Raven. Hold on, let me put you in.
No. Let the triple OG go first. No. Go on, triple OG.
Okay, go ahead. Uh-oh. Go ahead.
I forgot I was about to say. Yeah, no, fuck that. But
Right, exactly.
Hey, but what the fuck I was saying was on point though. So fuck what you talking about. But no, what I was about to say is it relates to the Jay-Z thing. If you building on something and you want to go and grab something, don't let nobody else tell you what you deserve. If you think you deserve something and you don't get it, that shouldn't stop you from wanting to still obtain that. So big ups to Jay-Z and Beyonce and to whoever else think they deserve something and they striving hard to go get it. Keep trying to get it by any means necessary, because if that's what you want, that's your goal, go and get it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, shout out to all the haters that's telling people that they trying to be greedy and this and that. No, fuck that. This is what I want and this is what I want to get. I don't care if it don't mean nothing to you, that's you, but it might mean something to me. So that's what I want. And that's all I gotta say about that.
Thank you. All right. And now we got the coldest. Go ahead.
Thank you so much.
She got
I'll
the right
start
fucking
off.
name too.
Oh, exactly. The coldest. Don't come over here looking for warmth. Don't come over here looking for no
right
type of bosomness. It ain't coming, okay? It ain't coming for free. The era of the big mama is dead. Okay, it's over. We ain't doing no more free labor. We not hemming your clothes. We not taking care of your kids for free, so you can go lay up at another bitch house. Absolutely not. My point before I got distracted. First thing I was gonna say, do not, under any circumstances, discuss serious topics with grown ass men that think feminine hygiene products are funny. Um, I'm telling you, you're gonna waste your time. Second thing, don't take, just like I said about the year of the Big Mama. I mean, you can be, y'all seen Soul Food. You can be Big Mama if you want to. She died very early. Okay, they still acted up, so all her efforts fairly went, futile until, I don't know, I guess somebody else, the little boy did something, I can't remember. But my point is, be selfish with your time. That man was being selfish with his time. When he wouldn't got another girlfriend instead of a house, he was being selfish with his time. When he sat up here and tucked his tail and asked his baby mama to ask his girlfriend, because he sent the woman to do his work, he was being selfish with his time. Okay? Don't let them trick you. Don't let them get inside your mind. Sorry.
All right, y'all. I'm gonna give my little 2 cents tonight. Try to do it real fast. My little 2 cents is, ladies and gentlemen, be a little more careful about who you invest in. Okay, just think ahead a little bit. Know what you want, if it's something serious or not, and make your decisions accordingly. My other little 2 cents, well, it's two things, is I still got smoke for Black Men Unfiltered. So you are more than welcome on this panel so I can explain to you how you and your entire crew were foul. And that's it. Good night.
Oh.
All right, y'all. And shout out to Cameron. I don't know if you joined us before, but thank you for joining us. I appreciate your commentary. Hopefully you can maybe cam up next time. All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you, everybody who watched the show tonight. All right. Peace out. We'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye. Love y'all, family.
See y'all.